jumping lights. He just wants to be heard, whether it's the beat or the mic. He feels so unlike everybody else, alone, in spite of the fact that some people still think that they know. But no, he knows the code. It's not about the salary, it's all about reality and making some noise, making a story, making sure his click stays up. That means when he puts it down, Todd's picking it up. Let's go.
Who the hell is he anyway? He never really talks much, never concerned with status, but still leaving him starstruck. Humble through opportunities given despite the fact that many misjudge him cause he makes a living from writing raps. Put it together himself, now the picture connects, never asking for someone's help or to get some respect. He's only focused on what he wrote, his will is beyond reach, and now it all unfolds, the skill of an artist.
This is 20% skill, 80% fear, be 100% clear, cause Ryu was ill. Who would've thought he'd be the one that set the West in flames? And I heard him wreck it with the crystal method, name of the game. Came back, dropped Megadeth, took him to church. I like Bleach, man. Ryu had the stupidest verse, this dude is the truth. Now everybody giving them guest spots and stocks through the roof. I heard he f***ing with that stock.
This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name.
They call him Ryu, he's sick and he's spitting fire. And Mike got him out the dryer, he's hot. Found him in Fort Minor.
Protecting what matters most. We're not just talking about things with walls and things with wheels. We're talking about people, your family. Everything that's important to you is important to us. That's why our agents are ready to help protect your future and give you peace of mind today. Visit us online or just stop by to see how Farm Bureau agents make insurance simple.
Contact Jeff or Julie in Rapid City, South Dakota to see how they make insurance simple.
If you jump into a race and you haven't paid the entry fee,
if you just hop in and you don't have a bib number and you just run with it illegally,
it's called being a bandit.
The Charge Bandit is the first stability offering in our Run Long segment.
we have the Armour vent and the 4-foot maximum breathability. We paired it with the Charge Ultimate Response adaptive cushioning. If you go to the medial side, you'll see a stability post here, and we've done stability kind of in our own way where we're more guiding the foot.
This shoe provides a light stability platform for the runner.
If you're a younger runner getting into running, you want a shoe that can do it all. You can train in, you can race in, it looks cool, has a lot of Under Armour attitude to it. That's the Bandit.
We call ourselves bandits. That's the Under Armour way, right? It's how we design product, it's how we live our life here at Under Armour.
Honda knows you expect a lot from your car. But we wanted to give you even more. So we gave the Civic, the best-selling car in its class, even more horsepower. More room than ever. And a stylish new exterior. Introducing the all-new Civic, the 2016 North American Car of the Year. Nothing compares to a Honda.
There's nothing more American than traveling around this great nation, enjoying the outdoors with your friends and family. Camping World is proud to have been here by your side for 50 years. With thousands of parts and accessories available, plus service at over 120 supercenters nationwide, plus an affordable RV for every budget. Camping World will proudly service you, the RV consumer, for another 50 years. Visit Camping World in Rapid City or shop campingworld.com today.
Cars, jobs, a whole new level of freedom. It's what being a teen is all about. But before they fly off, you want to be sure they have the know-how to succeed, which is why there's free green teen banking service, the safe way for teens to learn how to manage money while you monitor their account. Free debit card, mobile banking, and the best way for teens to begin their financial freedom. Free green teen banking, only from Security First Bank.
At Farm Bureau,
You ready? Let's go. Yeah. For those of you that want to know what we're all about, it's like this, y'all. This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name. He doesn't need his name up in lights, he just wants to be heard, whether it's the beat of the mic. He feels so unlike everybody else, alone, in spite of the fact that some people still think that they know. But no, he knows the code. It's not about the salary, it's all about reality and making some noise, making a story, making sure his click stays up. That means when he puts it down, Todd's picking it up. Let's go.
Who the hell is he anyway? He never really talks much, never concerned with status, but still leaving him starstruck. Humble through opportunities given despite the fact that many misjudge him cause he makes a living from writing raps. Put it together himself, now the picture connects, never asking for someone's help.
When a banker takes a hands-on approach to understanding your business, then you know you can count on them to give you a hand in reaching your goals.
I think the best way to know our business customers is by being their customer. I'm Kevin Dietz from Security First Bank in Rapid City. As your business banker, I go beyond the paperwork to understand the resources you need to get ahead.
Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on. Member FDIC.
Honda knows you expect a lot from your car. But we wanted to give you even more. So we gave the Civic, the best-selling car in its class, even more horsepower. More room than ever. And a stylish new exterior. Introducing the all-new Civic, the 2016 North American Car of the Year. Nothing compares to a Honda.
Where will you find Black Hills State University graduates? Everywhere, locally, nationally, and internationally. Black Hills State University is where community leaders are inspired, where future teachers are prepared, where global connections lead to business connections, and where underground research is changing the way we understand the universe. Visit bhsu.edu and enroll now at Black Hills State University, where you can earn your degree affordably and with campuses in Spearfish and Rapid City. Stay in the beautiful Black Hills. Where does your future begin? At Black Hills State University, where anything is possible.
Maintaining healthy eyes requires regular vision exams. Dr. Paula Sorensen at Envision Optical and Eye Care strives to provide quality vision solutions and exceptional customer service. She values the opportunity to build a lifelong friendly relationship with you and your family. Envision Optical and Eye Care on West Main, across from the guard camp.
Buying a home is a big decision. Choosing to work with a banker who will help you through every step of the process is an easy one.
I work hard to help homebuyers find the mortgage that fits their lifestyle and needs. I'm Megan Baum from Security First Bank in Rapid City. As your mortgage lender, I'm here to make you feel at home.
Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 1309178.
This is Mark the Freedom Poet, and I want to tell you about two wonderful candidates for South Dakota Legislature, Sean McPherson and Craig Eriks. I've known both of them for many years, and I trust them to be faithful champions of our precious Constitution. That includes how they defend our Bill of Rights. Faith, family, and freedom are very important to these men, and they cannot be bought or pressured to vote for anything that they think is harmful to individual freedom or our precious republic. Please vote June 7th in the Republican primary for Craig Eriks and Sean McPherson.
Paid for by Eriks for SD House and McPherson for House.
At Farm Bureau, when we talk about protecting what matters most, we're not just talking about things with walls and things with wheels. We're talking about people, your family. Everything that's important to you is important to us. That's why our agents are ready to help protect your future and give you peace of mind today. Visit us online or just stop by to see how Farm Bureau agents make insurance simple.
Contact Jeff or Julie in Rapid City, South Dakota to see how they make insurance simple.
Rapid City Medical Center honors tradition. Hi, I'm Jennifer Tricano, Chief Executive Officer. Owned by physicians, we love this community because it's our home. We coach Little League, are veterans of the armed forces, and send our kids to school with yours. 14 specialties in all, we've treated your family's healthcare needs since 1948. Like post-22 baseball, we set higher expectations for ourselves because that's what our legacy demands. Call 342-3280 for an appointment.
When a business opportunity comes knocking at your door, you need an experienced banker who's open to helping you make the most of it.
I work closely with my clients to identify and maximize business growth opportunities. I'm Dan Shear from Security First Bank in Rapid City. As your business banker, I'm here to provide the resources and experience you need to get deals done.
Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on. Member FDIC.
If you're a younger runner getting into running, you want a shoe that can do it all. You can train in, you can race in, it looks cool, has a lot of Under Armour attitude to it. That's the Bandit.
We call ourselves bandits. That's the Under Armour way, right? It's how we design product. It's how we live our life here at Under Armour.
There's nothing more American than traveling around this great nation, enjoying the outdoors with your friends and family. Camping World is proud to have been here by your side for 50 years. With thousands of parts and accessories available, plus service at over 120 supercenters nationwide, plus an affordable RV for every budget. Camping World will proudly service you, the RV consumer, for another 50 years. Visit Camping World in Rapid City or shop campingworld.com today.
America, Taco John's has a question for you. When did it become bad to actually enjoy breakfast? You know what I mean. Look at what you're eating. A thimble of yogurt? A bowl of twigs? Protein powder, for crying out loud? At Taco John's, it's no crime to feel like you didn't just eat. You had breakfast. We still serve the original and the best breakfast burritos this side of heaven. Hot, bold, and full of greatness. Breakfast shouldn't be a punishment. A TJ's breakfast burrito is your reward for waking up. Taco John's. Unwrap the original.
When a banker takes a hands-on approach to understanding your business, then you know you can count on them to give you a hand in reaching your goals.
I think the best way to know our business customers is by being their customer. I'm Kevin Dietz from Security First Bank in Rapid City. As your business banker, I go beyond the paperwork to understand the resources you need to get ahead.
Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on. Member FDIC.
Honda knows you expect a lot from your car. But we wanted to give you even more. So we gave the Civic, the best-selling car in its class, even more horsepower. More room than ever. And a stylish new exterior. Introducing the all-new Civic, the 2016 North American Car of the Year. Nothing compares to a Honda.
Where will you find Black Hills State University graduates? Everywhere, locally, nationally, and internationally. Black Hills State University is where community leaders are inspired, where future teachers are prepared, where global connections lead to business connections, and where underground research is changing the way we understand the universe. Visit bhsu.edu and enroll now at Black Hills State University, where you can earn your degree affordably and with campuses in Spearfish and Rapid City. Stay in the beautiful Black Hills. Where does your future begin? At Black Hills State University, where anything is possible.
Maintaining healthy eyes requires regular vision exams. Dr. Paula Sorensen at Envision Optical and Eye Care strives to provide quality vision solutions and exceptional customer service. She values the opportunity to build a lifelong friendly relationship with you and your family. Envision Optical and Eye Care on West Main, across from the guard camp.
Buying a home is a big decision. Choosing to work with a banker who will help you through every step of the process is an easy one.
I work hard to help homebuyers find the mortgage that fits their lifestyle and needs. I'm Megan Baum from Security First Bank in Rapid City. As your mortgage lender, I'm here to make you feel at home.
Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 1309178.
This is Mark, the Freedom Poet, and I want to tell you about two wonderful candidates for South Dakota legislature, Sean McPherson and Craig Eriks. I've known both of them for many years, and I trust them to be faithful champions of our precious Constitution. That includes how they defend our Bill of Rights. Faith, family, and freedom are very important to these men, and they cannot be bought or pressured to vote for anything that they think is harmful to individual freedom or our precious republic. Please vote June 7th in the Republican primary for Craig Ericks and Sean McPherson.
Paid for by Ericks for SD House and McPherson for House.
At Farm Bureau, when we talk about protecting what matters most, we're not just talking about things with walls and things with wheels. We're talking about people, your family. Everything that's important to you is important to us. That's why our agents are ready to help protect your future and give you peace of mind today. Visit us online or just stop by to see how Farm Bureau agents make insurance simple.
Contact Jeff or Julie in Rapid City, South Dakota to see how they make insurance simple.
Rapid City Medical.
Well, 90 degrees and sunny mean that the Hardhats have to wear their powder blue uniforms. It is once again the start of a very busy weekend of baseball. However, instead of 4 different opponents, we see one in 4 instances of baseball this upcoming weekend. We thank you so much for joining us here inside Floyd Fitzgerald Stadium for the first of 4 games to be played this weekend between the Post 22 Hardhats and the Premier West Cardinals from Denver, Colorado. This is Mark Benetti, the voice of the Post 22 Hardhats, alongside you in the broadcast booth. As always, joined by my broadcasting partner in crime, in the press box here at Floyd Fitzgerald Stadium, former American Legion third baseman Teddy Leipold, formerly of Post 32 out in Belle Fourche. Teddy, it's always great to have you with us for what we're hoping is another beautiful weekend of baseball, and what the forecast says is that will be the case. 90 degrees right now as we're heading just shy of 7 o'clock here on Friday night. 101 degrees projected for tomorrow, and then a nice brisk 87 on Sunday. So hopefully the elements are in our favor. Things don't get too hot, but nonetheless it stays just as gorgeous as it is right now.
Well, it sounds like it's going to stay this nice, and it's perfect baseball weather. I'm happy we can get this in June. This is like late July weather, so it's been hot out. Going to be tough to see tomorrow how all these teams respond to that first big heat wave of the summer, but it's definitely baseball weather, and it's going to be a really good weekend of baseball between 2 really good teams.
And the Hardhats are coming off of a very good weekend of baseball. Last week, 4 games, 4 different opponents in 4 days. Swept the weekend, now have 13 consecutive wins under their belt. Outscored the opposition 57-14 last week, scoring their 57 runs on 46 hits. They're bringing a lot of momentum into the series, but so are the Premier West Cardinals, because they're coming in on a 7-game winning streak, having lost only 1 of the 11 contests that they've played to date.
Yeah, they're coming in really hot like we talked about last weekend. This is going to definitely be the toughest test that the Hardhats see to date this season, and it's going to really give you a gauge on where they are, if they're in mid-season form yet, if they still have some tweaks to do, and it's going to be nice to get 4 games against a really good opponent, and it's going to be a heck of a weekend for baseball.
So you look to the 4 games last week, Teddy, all the statistics that we've talked about, all of the MVP awards that you handed out, the general progression of how the weekend went. In 4 games, 4 days, 4 wins, what was your biggest takeaway from last weekend?
It was hitting, and I'll give a double-edged sword here. It was the strike zone was definitely there, a lot better than we've seen early on this season, and that's one thing that Coach Messer has done, or really preached about to this team for a while here. So this is what you like to see. You like to see that they're getting out, being able to hit that strike zone. You want that to continue, because you're going to have to throw strikes against this team. And then we flip that on the opposite side with the hitting, and you just said it there, 50-plus runs in 4 games. That's definitely doing something right, and everyone's hitting. You were getting production from the top of the lineup to the very bottom of the lineup, and Cooper Bowman finding himself a very solid spot at the top of that lineup. So he's been having some really good success, and that production 1 through 9 has led to so much success for this Hardhat offense.
You talked about how the strike zone was there last weekend, and that is something that Coach Messer, Coach Hers, and Coach Barrows have stressed to this team on the pitching staff. They need to throw strikes. They've got to utilize that strike zone from the knees to the chest and make things happen when they're on the mound. You cap off a great performance in that department with Brandon Soucy's most recent start. He's now 3-1 on the season on 77 pitches on Sunday to end off the weekend. He had 9 strikeouts to 4 walks. For what we've seen from Brandon at the start of this season, from where we left off with last season to this point now in this campaign, how critical was that start for him?
Oh, that's the turning point for the season for him. That's one of those games you look back on and you can really say, all right, he busted out of his slump. Now, we haven't got to see him pitch since then, so we can't quite turn that into fact, but that's one of those starts that really gets your confidence back up, gets that zip on your pitches again. You're not worried about if you're throwing a 2-2 count. You're not worried about leaving a breaking ball over the plate. You pitch with confidence, and that helps so much on the mound, and especially for Susie. When he's pitching confident, he's hard to hit.
Well, let's go ahead and take a look at our starting lineups as they are being introduced out on the field here at Floyd Fitzgerald Stadium. We will start off with the visiting Premier West Cardinals representing Denver, Colorado. They're batting in the top halves of the 7 innings of regulation we are about to play tonight. Leading off is number 13, Hunter Stevens. Defensively, he's positioned out in right field. Batting second is number 3, Jimmy LeConte, out in left field. And batting third is number 12, Billy Cook. He's playing at shortstop. Batting in the cleanup spot in the 4-hole is number 33, Christian Johnson. He is defensively positioned at first base. Batting fifth is number 2, Nate Kajowski. He is in the hot corner at third. Batting sixth is number 8, Gavin Shack. He is the backstopper for the starting pitcher tonight. Batting seventh is number 24, Tyler Phillips. He is out at second base. Batting eighth is the designated hitter for the Premier West Cardinals, number 22, Brandon Barringer. And rounding out the batting order in the 9-hole is number 20, Miguel Marquez, out in center field. Tyler Norris, number 55, is the starting pitcher for Premier West, and he will face the batting order of the Post 22 Hardhats as it follows. Leading off for a 5th game in a row is number 22, Cooper Bowman. He is out at shortstop. Batting second is number 12, Drake Messenger, out in left field. Batting third, the heavy-hitting Zach Solano, 13 on his back. Center field, his defensive post. In the cleanup spot, the reigning South Dakota American Legion Player of the Year, Matt Vickers, with number 27 on his back. He is at first base. Batting fifth is a designated hitter tonight for the Hardhats, number 23, Eric Petrie. Batting sixth, number 21, Timmy Paris, and his red-hot back defensively are behind home plate. Batting seventh is number 30, Alex Weaver. He's out in right field. Batting eighth is number 10, Riley McSherry at second base. And rounding out the batting order is number 14, Justin Kramer, playing in the hot corner at third in the 9-hole. On the mound, arguably one of the most dominant, if not the most dominant pitcher on this Hardhat staff, Cody Carlson. This will be now his 8th appearance with the Hardhats this year and his 3rd by virtue of a start. He has a 1-0 record, 28 strikeouts to 5 walks, a 2.57 ERA. We'll break down the numbers on Cody and the rest of the Hardhats in just a few moments, folks. We will have the playing of the United States National Anthem, and then we'll be back for first pitch between the Premier West Cardinals and your Post 22 Hardhats. You're listening to the official web stream of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball here on Post22Live.com.
Center honors tradition. Hi, I'm Jennifer Tricano, Chief Executive Officer. Owned by physicians, we love this community because it's our home. We coach Little League, are veterans of the armed forces, and send our kids to school with yours. 14 specialties in all, we've treated your family's healthcare needs since 1948. Like Post 22 Baseball, we set higher expectations for ourselves because that's what our legacy demands. Call 342-3280 for an appointment.
When a business opportunity comes knocking at your door, you need an experienced banker who's open to helping you make the most of it.
I work closely with my clients to identify and maximize business growth opportunities. I'm Dan Shear from Security First Bank in Rapid City. As your business banker, I'm here to provide the resources and experience you need to get deals done.
Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on. Member FDIC.
If you're a younger runner getting into running, you want a shoe that can do it all. You can train in, you can race in, it looks cool, has a lot of Under Armour attitude to it. That's the Bandit.
We call ourselves bandits. That's the Under Armour way, right? It's how we design product. It's how we live our life here at Under Armour.
There's nothing more American than traveling around this great nation, enjoying the outdoors with your friends and family. Camping World is proud to have been here by your side for 50 years. With thousands of parts and accessories available, plus service at over 120 supercenters nationwide, plus an affordable RV for every budget. Camping World will proudly service you, the RV consumer, for another 50 years. Visit Camping World in Rapid City or shop campingworld.com today.
America Taco.
All set now for the top half of the first inning here at Floyd Fitzgerald Stadium. Game 1 out of 4 to be played this weekend between the Premier West Cardinals and your Post 22 Hardhats. Once again, thank you so much for joining us inside our press box on Post22Live.com. Mark Benetti and Teddy Leipold alongside you in the broadcast booth for all of the festivities this weekend. We turn now to the top 3 in the batting order for Premier West, a team based out of Denver, Colorado. And it's number 13, Hunter Stevens, the right fielder, followed by number 3, Jimmy LeConte out in left field. And number 12, Billy Cook, is the shortstop. They will face Cody Carlson. And the defensive alignment for the Hardhats. Cody, in now his third start on the season, comes into this game with a 1-0 record. His battery mate and catcher is Timmy Paris. At first is the reigning South Dakota American Legion Player of the Year, Matt Vickers. At second is Riley McSherry. Shortstop, Cooper Bowman. And in the hot corner at third is Justin Kramer. Left to right in the outfield, it's Drake Messenger, Zach Solano, and Alex Weaver. And as we were mentioning, Teddy, one of the most, if not the most dominant pitcher on the staff right now, Cody Carlson, 28 strikeouts to 5 walks and a 2.579 ERA to his name. And he deals strike one early to Hunter Stevens. No balls and a strike, his starting count.
That's what makes him so effective right there. That first pitch strike, about 60% of the batters he faces, he will start out with that strike. And of those, 74% result in and out. So it's easy, it's crucial to jump out 0-1.
Next pitch from Carlson goes high and outside for a 1-1 count here to Hunter Stevens. Next pitch is swung on and missed, strike 2 on a fastball over the heart of the plate. Now he's ahead. Ball and 2 strikes to Stevens.
You're going to see a lot of those today. That swing and miss. Cody Carlson leads with swing and miss percentage of 16% of the swings that these batters produce are misses. So he gets a lot of those, a lot of movement on his pitches, and that results in a lot of whiffs up there in the batter's box.
The next pitch was barely fouled off to Stevens, so his count will remain at a ball and 2 strikes. No outs, nobody on here, and a scoreless top of the first inning at the Fitz. 1-2 from Carlson, swung on and hit to first. Vickers gets the stop, tosses to Carlson, and he tags the bag. That is out number 1. 3-1 in the scorebook. 1 up, 1 down defensively for the Hardhats, so that's going to bring up Jimmy LeConte, the left fielder.
Big to get that first out of the inning. You get that first batter, especially of the game. We talk about it, how that leadoff hitter is always crucial no matter what inning, but to get that first batter of the game in this first game, that's good to see. And of the 19 innings that Cody Carlson has pitched, 7 of them have been 1-2-3 innings. So to get that first batter, that's well on your way to getting those 3 outs quickly.
Lefty on lefty matchup now. The lefty throwing Carlson to the lefty hitting Jimmy LeConte, and his first pitch rides inside for ball 1. 1-0 the starting count here to LeConte, who defensively is positioned out in left field. Carlson back to it quick. 1-0 is swung on and fouled. Opposite field of LeConte. Third base side now to play, and the count evens at a ball and a strike.
You're going to see a lot of these hitters swinging on that first pitch. Cody Carlson has so much velocity that these hitters don't see on an everyday basis, so they're not going to be taking any pitches. They're going to try to jump after the first pitch they see.
1-1 is swung on and fouled. The exact same side of the ball field. Third base side now to play, and the count once again in favor of Carlson at a ball and 2 strikes. Outside of 1 pitch, he has not been behind in the count. I know we've only seen 2 batters, but it's been 1-2 every time.
And that's how you are so effective on that mound against these hitters.
1-2 is swung on and hit hard to right field, but foul, just by a few feet. And the count will hold at a ball and 2 strikes. LeConte turned on that pitch a couple more feet. He'd probably be on second.
Yeah, you get a changeup on the inside part of the plate. LeConte is at the top of this order for a reason, batting second. Those best hitters are definitely at the top, and so if you get that changeup on the inside part of the plate, you got to keep it low so these hitters can't turn on it.
Here's the 1-2. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. K, number 1 in the scorebook for Cody Carlson in this start. 2 up, 2 down defensively for the Hardhats, so that's going to bring up Billy Cook, the shortstop.
When you can throw with this velocity in the high 80s that Cody Carlson has, that high fastball is amazing. It's such an effective pitch, these hitters. LeConte chase that high fastball. There's no way you're making contact with him when it's coming at 88, 89 miles an hour.
First pitch to Billy Cook is over the heart of the plate for strike 1. The right-handed hitting Billy Cook is playing defensively at shortstop, batting in the 3-hole for the Premier West Cardinals. Very interesting batting stance he has. 0-1 is swung on and fouled into Rapid Creek and out of play. 0-2 the count, and I go back to that batting stance, almost reminiscent of David Eckstein.
Haven't heard that name in a while, but it looks like Cook here, he's trying to get underneath these pitches, make Carlson shrink the zone for him, but Cody's such a precision pitcher that he'll be able to hit it no matter what.
0-2 rides high and inside on Cook, so the count will go now to a ball and 2 strikes for the third time in as many batters that Carlson has faced. Should Billy Cook safely get on the base path, Christian Johnson, the first baseman, cleanup hitters on deck. Here comes the 1-2 from Carlson. Swung on and fouled into the meshing behind home plate, and the count will remain still at a ball and 2 strikes.
These hitters fouling off a lot of pitches, a lot going to 2 strikes a lot of times, and you want to keep that pitch count down. I know Cody's up there saying, hey, why do they have to keep fouling these off? But he only averages 16.684 pitches per inning, so he'll still be solid in that category, and he'll still be good, get these nice quick innings against these hitters.
Next pitch goes high and outside from Carlson to Cook, so 2 balls, 2 strikes now, an even count here for Cook, the shortstop of Premier West. Here comes the 2-2 from Carlson. Swung on and chopped high to second. McSherry gets the stop. Throw to first is wide of the glove of Matt Vickers, and Cook is going to go ahead and take second base. So it's an E4 on the play. Cook is in scoring position with 2 outs here in the top of the first, and that's going to bring up Christian Johnson, the cleanup hitter.
Well, I don't know. That might be an E3. It was close enough to Vickers. We don't have a very good vantage point on that, so I don't know what they're going to be charging for that, but I think Vickers might have stretched a little too early, which didn't allow him to get over to the ball, but we'll check with the scorers in between innings to see which one that is on, but that's tough. You get that 3 up, 3 down, that easy ground ball out, and Cook, with a lot of speed, was able to make McSherry have to rush that throw, so now you got to bear down and try and get Johnson here at the plate or a weak ground out to get that 3rd out and not allow Cook to score from second.
So Cook now on second in scoring position, 2 outs here in the top of the first inning, scoreless between both sides. And Christian Johnson, the right-handed cleanup hitter, swings at his first pitch and pops it up to second. Underneath it is McSherry, and he makes the catch, and that is going to end it. So no runs, no hits, 1 defensive error for the Hardhats, and a man left on base in scoring position. At the end of a half an inning, we still are scoreless between the Premier West Cardinals and your Post 22 Hardhats. Quick recess, folks. We'll be right back with the bottom half of the first inning as the Hardhats transition from defense to offense for the first time in this game. Cooper Bowman, Drake Messenger, and Zach Solano due up. We'll be right back here on the official web stream of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball here on Post22Live.com.
John's has a question for you. When did it become bad to actually enjoy breakfast? You know what I mean. Look at what you're eating. A thimble of yogurt? A bowl of twigs? Protein powder, for crying out loud? At Taco John's, it's no crime to feel like you didn't just eat. You had breakfast. We still serve the original and the best breakfast burritos this side of heaven. Hot, bold, and full of greatness. Breakfast shouldn't be a punishment. A TJ's breakfast burrito is your reward for waking up. Taco John's. Unwrap the original.
When a banker takes a hands-on approach to understanding your business, then you know you can count on them to give you a hand in reaching your goals.
I think the best way to know our business customers is by being their customer. I'm Kevin Dietz from Security First Bank in Rapid City. As your business banker, I go beyond the paperwork to understand the resources you need to get ahead.
Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on. Member FDIC.
To the bottom half of the first inning, we now go here at Floyd Fitzgerald Stadium. Post 22 Hardhats take to the sticks for the first time, and Cooper Bowman, followed by Drake Messenger and Zach Solano, are due up for the home side Hardhats. No runs have been scored so far in this game. Tyler Johnson, the lefty on the mound for Premier West, deals the first pitch strike to Cooper Bowman. The Hardhats, Tyler Norris on the mound. The Hardhats will face Tyler Norris, the starting pitcher. And that next pitch to Bowman is swung on and hit in the middle of center field for a base hit. All it took was 2 pitches, and Cooper Bowman is on first with a leadoff single. Nobody out and a man on. That's going to bring up Drake Messenger.
That's why Cooper Bowman's found a home in that leadoff spot. Is right there. He blasts that right back up the middle, a line drive past the outstretched glove of Phillips at second, and now he's standing on first. So now Drake Messenger looking to get him into scoring position and really get this meat of the lineup, Solano, Vickers, Petrie, Paris. These hitters, get the big bats up and try and score some runs.
Check down to first is not there in time, so we'll take a quick moment to give you the defensive alignment for Premier West. It's Tyler Norris, the lefty starter on the mound. Gavin Shack is his catcher. Christian Johnson at first, Tyler Phillips at second, Billy Cook at shortstop, Nate Kajowski in the hot corner at third. Drake Messenger drops the bunt down first base side. It's stopped on the play by Shack, the catcher, and the throw to first is in time. So it's a 2-3 sacrifice bunt for Drake Messenger, bringing up Zach Solano. with one out and now a man and Cooper Bowman in scoring position. And quickly to recap the remainder of the defensive alignment, left to right in the outfield, it's Jimmy LeConte, Miguel Marquez, and Hunter Stevens.
Just a perfectly executed sac bunt by Drake Messenger. That's one of the things that makes him so effective in that two-hole. You'll see a lot of sacrifices from him, but it puts these runners in scoring position, and it's a key to this hard hat success that they've seen this season is getting these runners in scoring position and ultimately letting 3, 4, 5, 6 hitters bring them back around to give them the runs.
So Zach Solano now comes up with a .384 batting average, and he looks at ball 1 low and away from the lefty Tyler Norris. Norris checks Bowman at second, and the 1-0 to Solano is low for ball 2, 2-0. Solano, statistically one of the best hitters on this team, only surpassed by the gentleman next in the lineup, and Matt Vickers, and only a handful of these categories. Here comes the 2-0. Swung on and hit to third, but through the legs of Kujawski, and it goes into left field. That is an E5 on the play, and that will allow Zach Solano to take first and Cooper Bowman to advance to third. Men on the corners with one out, and the reigning South Dakota American Legion Player of the Year, and Matt Vickers is now up.
One of the few categories, though, that Vickers trails in is RBIs. Of course, Solano with that team-leading 26 RBIs, wanted a base hit there to drive in Bowman, but that now gives Vickers the opportunity to try and catch him in this RBI category. Of course, he has 17 on the season. So Matt Vickers really good with runners in scoring position, and you like him at the plate. This is the part of the lineup that I'm talking about that just is absolutely deadly. Vickers .333 with a man in scoring position.
First pitch to Vickers is in there for strike one. No balls and a strike to count. Vickers comes in with the best batting average on the squad at .484, also the best on-base plus slugging at 1.424. Last year's reigning Player of the Year in American Legion in South Dakota for a reason. 0-1 to Vickers. Breaking ball catches the inside part of the plate for strike two as Vickers watches it. So quickly, he's behind. No balls and 2 strikes with 1 out, and men on the corners here in the scoreless bottom of the first. Tyler Norris from the stretch looks at Solano at first. 0-2, low and away. And Vickers will see another pitch with his count now at 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And Norris, a very tall left-handed pitcher, has that downward motion from that left hand, from the left arm, and that's hard for these hitters as it's coming down. But you got to pick that spin up from the curveball early on, especially these right-handed hitters, so you can notice it. Vickers has a little advantage in the left-handed batter's box, but still got to pick it up and be looking for that breaking ball in a 2-2 count.
1-2's low and away to even the count at deuces now. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Vickers with men on the corners and 1 out. Looking to give the Hardhats their first lead of the game. Here's the 2-2. Swung on, check swing up high, and he went. That's strike 3. So 2 down now for the Hardhats, still with men on the corners, and that's going to bring up the DH, Eric Petrie.
And Eric Petrie, he's second on the team in average, hitting with a .475 average behind Matt Vickers. So you're looking for the right-handed hitting Petrie to try and get something going, get Bowman in from third base. Now with 2 outs, sacrifice fly won't score him. So you're going to need a big base hit from Petrie here at the plate.
First pitch to Petrie is a breaking ball low and away. Ball and no strikes is starting count. He has Cooper Bowman 90 feet away from home to his left on third. He has Zach Solano 90 feet away from home to his right on first. And a check down to first goes away from Christian Johnson, and Bowman's going to score. Solano's going to take second. It was a pickoff move gone wrong, and the Hardhats now on the second defensive error of the game for Premier West now have a 1-0 lead.
That's tough right there. You don't want to see that, don't want to give it up, but you get that first run across. Now Solano puts himself in scoring position, so Petrie here with a base hit could still score Solano from second base, and Petrie's been on an absolute tear. I believe he had 9 runs batted in those 4 games last weekend, so he's definitely one of the hitters you want at the plate in these situations with runners in scoring position.
So now here comes the 1-0 to Petrie with Solano on second, and that's ripped by Kujawski into left field for a base hit. Solano's going to come around from second to score, and Petrie valiantly takes his position on first. It's a 2-out RBI single for the DH, Eric Petrie, and the Hardhats now have a 2-0 lead with 2 outs here in the bottom of the first.
A really nice job taking that low inside pitch there from Norris, and Petrie turned on it. That's exactly what you teach good hitters to do. Those inside pitches, you take them to left field. That's where you find the most success. And Petrie put it on the ground right up the line of third base out of the outstretched glove of Kujawski, and that was a huge play to get that, or a huge hit to get that second run in for the Hardhats.
First pitch to Timmy Paris misses the zone low. Ball and no strikes his count. Timmy Paris comes into this game with a .426 batting average and 1 home run to his name. He hit his first one last Sunday over the scoreboard in left center field. It was a 2-run blast. Absolutely incredible what power he has now in his swing. 1-0 to Paris is over the heart of the plate for strike one. And the count evens to a ball and a strike for the Hardhats backstopper.
Oh, yeah, we talk about it, and then Coach Messer touched on it in an interview earlier this season. The exit velocity of the ball off the bat of Timmy Paris, it's just amazing, and that allows him to hit those over the scoreboard and take those pitches. And North's a fastball pitcher, Timmy Paris a fastball hitter, so you got to like the matchup in favor of the young catcher here.
Next pitch to Paris goes low in the zone for ball 2. So 2 balls and a strike now the count to Paris. 2 outs here in the bottom half of the first inning. Hardhats have a 2-0 lead. Eric Petrie stands on first with that RBI single. 2-1. Swung on and hit to short. Stop is made on the play by Cook, and he tosses to second for the 6-4 fielder's choice to end the bottom half of the first. Well, the Hardhats get 2 runs on 2 hits, 2 defensive errors for the Premier West Cardinals. 1 man left on the base path. At the end of 1 full inning of play, the Hardhats now have a 2-0 lead over Premier West and look to preserve it as they go back to their defensive posts to the top half of the second inning. Nate Kajowski, Gavin Shack, and Tyler Phillips due up for Premier West when we come back here on the official web stream of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball here on Post22Live.com.
Honda knows you expect a lot from your car. But we wanted to give you even more. So we gave the Civic, the best-selling car in its class, even more horsepower. More room than ever. And a stylish new exterior. Introducing the all-new Civic, the 2016 North American Car of the Year. Nothing compares to a Honda.
Where will you find Black Hills State University graduates? Everywhere, locally, nationally, and internationally. Black Hills State University is where community leaders are inspired, where future teachers are prepared, where global connections lead to business connections, and where underground research is changing the way we understand the universe. Visit bhsu.edu and enroll now at Black Hills State University, where you can earn your degree affordably and with campuses in Spearfish and Rapid City. Stay in the beautiful Black Hills. Where does your future begin? At Black Hills State University, where anything is possible.
Maintaining.
After 1 full inning of play, statistically across the board, it's Premier West, no runs, no hits, 2 defensive errors. For the Hardhats, it's 2 runs on 2 hits and 1 blemish in the field. We now go to the top half of the second inning. Nate Kajowski, the third baseman, leads off for Premier West, followed by Gavin Shack, the catcher, and Tyler Phillips, the second baseman. Cody Carlson back to it on the mound in his first pitch. Almost 90% of the time. I'm sure that's an exaggerated statistic as strike 1. 0-1 is starting count.
Well,
and now Teddy's going to fact check.
Yeah, let's take a little gander. About 60% of the time that first pitch strike is coming in there.
Next pitch is check swung on and missed and skipped away from Timmy Paris. No balls, 2 strikes to count. Carlson quickly ahead. 1 pitch away from K number 2 in the scorebook. I mean, I was close. I was off by 30%. 0-2 misses high and outside. Ball and 2 strikes now the count.
Still a very good pitch. You try to get him to chase up. You jump ahead 0-2, and a pitcher like Cody on the mound that can control his fastball and has good command, or more than just fastball, he has good command any pitch across the board. You like that pitch on the outside part, or excuse me, that outside of the plate, so you don't get any chance of Kajowski to hit the ball. So you like going up 1-2. Now he's probably going to come back with a strike and try and get him out here something low.
1-2. Missed high and away again on a 2-seamer. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count.
Well, that was a miss. Thought he was coming low, but, tried to stay on that outside part of the plate. Now with 2 balls, he definitely has to come in the zone. You don't want to get a full count here.
Here comes the 2-2 from Carlson. Just missed up high, and there is that unfortunate full count. First one of the game for Carlson on the mound. Carlson facing Kajowski right now. Payoff pitch followed by Gavin Shack and Tyler Phillips. Here is the payoff. Caught him looking. Strike 3. Backwards K in the scorebook. Number 2 in this start for Carlson. 1 up, 1 down defensively for the Hardhats. That's going to bring up Gavin Shack.
Huge strikeout right there. Number 2. And I believe he's at 30 now for the entire season. That's what you like to see. I think he's that first pitcher to hit 30 as well. So, Riley McSherry's got a little catching up to do, but I'm sure he'll see some work this weekend.
First pitch to Gavin Shack is inside, but catches the part of the plate for strike 1, so no balls at a strike to count. Nobody is on the base path with one out here in the top of the second. Hardhats trying to preserve a 2-0 lead. Next pitch from Carlson rides low and away. Ball and a strike now evens the count for Gavin Shack, the Premier West catcher. Cody Carlson just fresh off of his second strikeout in the start in as many innings. Here's a 1-1. Swung on it, hit foul, just over the Premier West dugout. That could have been very unfortunate. Luckily, nobody was injured in the creation of that pitch.
Yeah, that was tough. Those come flying fast, but growing up playing baseball, you get used to ducking out of the way pretty quick, and you saw some heads tumble there as that foul ball was coming in quick.
1-2 from Carlson, misses up high. 2 balls, 2 strikes now the count to Gavin Shack. On deck is Tyler Phillips, the second baseman. Hardhats have a 2-0 lead over Premier West, looking to keep it that way as they try to transition to the bottom half of this inning. 2-2 from Carlson. Breaking ball misses up high, and for the second time in as many batters and in this game, he will go to a payoff pitch scenario at a full count. Looking for his third strikeout of this start. Carlson deals payoff. 3-2, missed outside, ball 4. So that's the first walk of this game issued from Carlson. Man is on first base. That is Gavin Shack, the catcher of Premier West, and now Tyler Phillips, the second baseman, comes up.
One of the nice things, though, even though you do give up that walk, Cody Carlson, a ground ball pitcher, 55% of the outs recorded are by virtue of that ground ball. And, of course, with only that one runner on first base and one out, that double play ball could end this inning if you can get Phillips here, the second baseman for Premier West, to ground out to that middle infield that's so good at turning them. You'd like to that'd be the ultimate result there, but you still just want to at least get this one out, and the ground out's just a bonus.
First pitch from Carlson misses high and away for ball 1 to Tyler Phillips. 1-0 his starting count. Phillips has Gavin Shack on first with one out here in the top of the second. Premier West has yet to score a run in this game. Carlson checks the man. 1-0, swung on and missed. And the count now evens at a ball and a strike.
This lineup having troubles keeping up with Cody Carlson. Their bat just can't catch up with that velocity, and that'll change as you get flipped over the lineup once again to the second time through. But this first time through, Cody Carlson just giving them fits. 1 through, we're now at 7, so he's doing a nice job out there starting this game.
Next pitch goes outside the zone. 2 balls and a strike now the count here to Phillips. Gavin Shack takes his lead on first. Here comes a 2-1. Swung on and hit right up the middle. McSherry dives, can't make the stop. It goes into center for a base hit. Valiant effort for Riley McSherry, but it is a single and the first hit of the ballgame for Premier West. Now men on first and second. Double play ball still in effect to end the inning with one out here in the top of the second. And that's going to bring up Brandon Barringer, the designated hitter.
Yeah, that ball just punched right back up the middle. Riley McSherry, valiant effort, diving just over his glove. Just couldn't quite get down in time after that dive. But if you can get another ground ball like that, McSherry will be cheating a little bit up the middle to try and get that double play flipped.
First pitch is a curveball that catches the outside part of the plate. No balls and a strike to starting count here to Barringer. Barringer has men on first and second with one out here in the top of the second. One of those two men, a threat to score on the base path. Here comes the 0-1. Swung on and missed, strike 2. And Carlson quickly ahead. No balls, 2 strikes against Barringer.
Just having a nice job on that outside part of the plate. Now with the 0-2, he's going to try to get him to chase up maybe that high fastball. You get these big hitters, especially these DH hitters. Those high fastballs were a killer. Just ask, that's what got me out most of the time when I had 0-2 counts.
Here comes the 0-2 from Carlson. Swung on and missed, strike 3. K number 3 in the scorebook in this start, and that's going to bring up the 9-hole hitter, Miguel Marquez, the center fielder, still with 2 men on and now 2 out here in the top of the second.
Huge punch out at the plate right here. Now a base hit will score Shack from second base, but you have to get that base hit. Any fly ball, routine fly ball, any out, whatever. We'll send this and eliminate that threat there 180 feet away.
First pitch to Marquez. Rides high and inside for ball 1. 1-0 the count. So Marquez has Shack on second in scoring position. He has Tyler Phillips on first by virtue of a single. Shack walked to get on the base path. 2 outs here now in the top of the second. Hardhats trying to preserve a 2-0 lead. 1-0 from Carlson. Misses low and inside. 2-0 now the count. Currently on the inning, no runs, only on 1 hit. No errors yet for the Hardhats defense. Carlson's trying to end it. He has 3 strikeouts now. Quickly behind, though, 2-0 in this count. 2-0 to Marquez, catches the inside part of the plate on a 2-seam fastball. 2 balls and a strike now the count.
That ball's just dancing in the zone there for Carlson today. He's getting a lot of break on that 2-seamer. His curveball really working. You don't see him use that curveball a lot because he has such velocity. He doesn't have to use it as much. But we've seen it a few times today. That slider just moving. He has a lot of movement on his pitches, and that's why he's getting a lot of swing and misses his first time through the lineup for Premier West.
2 balls and a strike to count to Marquez, and the next pitch is swung on and hit in the air to right field. Alex Weaver is on his horse. The ball goes foul, though, and into Rapid Creek. Despite the valiant effort of Alex Weaver, he got on his horse and got all the way to the wall, but it goes out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes, now the count to Marquez.
Those are always the worst, when you have to have a long run and you think you can make a play on it, and it's right at the fence line, and then it just drifts over. That spin on the ball, these right-handed hitters, when they hit it down that first base side foul, that spin just kind of carries it out of the park, and Weaver understands that. But now he's going to be watching. Marquez late on that pitch, so he needs to be watching for that fly ball out his way.
Scenario like that is as if a carrot is being dangled. 2-2. Breaking ball misses high and outside, and the count now goes full. So a third payoff pitch scenario for Carlson in this inning and in this game. 1 pitch he could load the bases. 1 pitch we could see some offense from Premier West, or 1 pitch in this inning can end. Carlson checks both runners. Here comes the payoff. Swung on it, hit high in the air. First base side. It's in foul territory. Vickers is underneath it, and he makes the catch, and that's going to end the top half of the second inning. No runs on a hit, no errors, 2 men left on the base path, one of which was in scoring position. And at the end of an inning and a half of play, the Hardhats have preserved their 2-0 lead, and back to the sticks they go here in the bottom of the second. 7, 8, and 9 due up. Alex Weaver, Riley McSherry, and Justin Kramer. We'll be right back, folks, here on the official web stream of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball here on Post22Live.com.
Healthy eyes requires regular vision exams. Dr. Paula Sorensen at Envision Optical and Eye Care strives to provide quality vision solutions and exceptional customer service. She values the opportunity to build a lifelong friendly relationship with you and your family. Envision Optical and Eye Care on West Main, across from the guard camp.
Buying a home is a big decision. Choosing to work with a banker who'll help you through every step of the process is an easy one.
I work hard to help homebuyers find the mortgage that fits their lifestyle and needs. I'm Megan Baum from Security First Bank in Rapid City. As your mortgage lender, I'm here to make you feel at home.
Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 1309178.
This is Mark, the Freedom Poet.
On June 27th, you will want to go to Rushmore Plaza Civic Center because the Hardhats will put on their 4th annual auction. And once again, we've made this reference multiple times, but we still can't question the intellect behind this move. But the Hardhats' parents are trusting us with microphones to MC this event. So bold strategy on their part. Let's see how it plays out.
Well, at least we get 1 auction with the microphones. We'll see if we get a second.
First pitch to Alex Weaver, swung on and hit to short. Stop is made on the play by Billy Cook, and the throw to first is in time. 1 pitch, 1 man up, 1 man down for the Hardhats. That's going to bring us to Riley McSherry as we have just started off the bottom half of the second inning.
And Weaver likes to jump on that first pitch. He's had some success with it, of course, going on, but a quick ground ball there. Watch for McSherry to bunt here. He might try to get something going, get himself on base with a quick bunt, and try to get around.
First pitch to McSherry is in there for strike 1. No balls and a strike is starting count. It's a great point you made about Weaver jumping on that first pitch because he basically ruined what was so far so good. A decent joke for you and I here in this booth. 0-1 is swung on and hit to third. Stop is made on the play by Gajowski, and the throw to first is over the head of Johnson. And McSherry turns on his jets and he goes to second. So it's another E5. It's the 3rd error in this game for Premier West. 2 of them coming from Gajowski at third. As a man in scoring position now with 1 out, and that's going to bring up the third baseman, Justin Kramer.
That's a huge error. You wonder how long Kajowski's going to be in the game right there. 2 outs in as many innings, and we're not even through the second. So got to keep an eye on there. I don't know how deep they are at third base, but, you know, it's when with the speed of Riley McSherry, he caused that error because Kajowski just had to throw that ball as hard as he could to try to get it over to first and get him out.
Kramer shows bunt, drops it down the third baseline, but it just kicks foul. It looked like for a second it was going to work in the favor of Kramer and just split right between the edge of the grass and the chalk, but that was not the case. And a first pitch strike is now dealt to Kramer.
Yeah, that bunt was just off by a couple inches. You want to get it in that lip of the grass because, of course, that the grass will cause it to roll foul. So you want to keep it off the dirt and into the grass so it can die before it gets to the pitcher's mound. But that was almost a perfect bunt, and Kramer's so good at it.
Next pitch is a breaking ball high and outside, and it goes off the glove of Shaq behind home, and McSherry's going to take advantage at third base. So another unfortunate mistake there for Premier West is now the count to Justin Kramer goes to 1-1. Kramer, of course, he doesn't necessarily need to bunt single, but he's so great at it, and that's part of the reason why he's batting .309 because of that infield single threat.
Absolutely. He's so good at those bunt singles. He has 17 hits on the season. I'd venture to guess probably 6 or 7 of them are by virtue of bunt, so he's so good at it.
1-1 is swung on and hit to short as the infield crashed hard on the play. Cook throws to first, and the throw is in time. So 2-6-3 is in the book. McSherry's still standing on third base. 2 outs now here in the bottom of the second. Now we go back to the top of the order to Cooper Bowman. And again, Teddy, that middle infield was probably parallel with the pitcher where that ball came to Cook at short.
Yeah, they play on the grass trying to save that run and prevent McSherry from going home. It's only a 2-run ball game. They want to keep it at that, and they did a nice job getting that ground ball out, but Cooper Bowman could still get an RBI with the base hit here with McSherry standing on third.
Bowman in the game so far is 1 for 1 with a single. And he came around to score the first of 2 runs the Hardhats have. His first pitch was outside for ball 1. The next pitch caught the outside corner, and that will even his count at a ball and a strike. So here comes the 1-1 to Bowman. That goes way outside. 2 balls and a strike now the count.
And yeah, Norris, he's pitching very well against this lineup. Throwing a lot of strikes, has yet to walk a batter, so these hitters definitely getting their chance to produce here for the Hardhats.
Next pitch is swung on and hit high in the air, but foul. That goes first base side and out of play. It hits the tin roof of, I believe, catch 22 over there. So now the count goes even to 2 balls, 2 strikes for Bowman.
Just catching one of the tin roofs on the grandstands where the fans are trying to hide from the sun.
2-2 is swung on and hit foul again. This one is going out of play for sure, and the count will remain 2 balls and 2 strikes. Teddy, earlier you made the comment that Cooper Bowman has really found his home in the leadoff spot. He's batting .308 from last weekend in the leadoff spot. 2-2. Low and inside, and the count will push full. 3 balls and 2 strikes, but over 300 regardless of how many games that is. That's an incredible statistic.
Absolutely. He's found his spot, and I believe he's there to stay. I don't think we're going to see him move unless he goes into a pretty bad slump, which I don't see happening. Cooper Bowman, a very good hitter, very disciplined hitter. So I think he's in that leadoff spot to stay from here on out, and a very quality leadoff hitter for this Hardhat team. It's a luxury to have a leadoff hitter like Bowman.
Payoff pitch is high and outside for ball 4. So Cooper Bowman is issued a 2-out walk. He now goes to first. Riley McSherry remains at third. So it's men on the corners and 2 out, and that's going to bring up Drake Messenger, who had a sacrifice bunt the last time he was up to advance Bowman to scoring position, and eventually he came around to score. So Messenger looking for his first hit, and it would afford the Hardhats a 3-0 lead, maybe even more depending on what he does.
And Drake Messenger bats .350 with runners in scoring position. The first thing Coach Messer told us when we were talking about Drake earlier this season is he's a clutch hitter. So he's looking to get that clutch hit and stay true to that name there here to push across Riley McSherry from third base.
Norris, his first pitch to Messenger, misses high for ball 1. Want to know the starting count here to Messenger, who again had that sacrifice bunt the first time he was up. Messenger came into this game with a .327 batting average, and as Teddy mentioned, that skyrockets a decent bit when there's a man within the threat of scoring for the Hardhats. He has men on the corners, 2 out here in the bottom of the second. Here's the 1-0. Swung on and chopped to third. Kajowski makes the stop. Plant's throw to first is in time, and that is going to end the bottom half of the second. Well, it's no runs for the Hardhats on no hits. 1 defensive error for Premier West and 2 men left on the base path, one of which was in scoring position. At the end of 2 full innings of play, it remains 2-0. The Hardhats have the lead over the Premier West Cardinals representing Denver, Colorado. Quick recess, folks. We'll be right back with the top half of the third inning. And we go back to the top of the Premier West order. Hunter Stevens, Jimmy LeConte, and Billy Cook. All three gentlemen 0 for 1 with 1 strikeout. We'll be right back, folks, here on the official web stream of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball here on Post22Live.com.
And I want to tell you about two wonderful candidates for South Dakota legislature, Sean McPherson and Craig Eriks. I've known both of them for many years, and I trust them to be faithful champions of our precious Constitution. That includes how they defend our Bill of Rights. Faith, family, and freedom are very important to these men, and they cannot be bought or pressured to vote for anything that they think is harmful to individual freedom or our precious republic. Please vote June 7th in the Republican primary for Craig Eriks and Sean McPherson.
Paid for by Eriks for SD House and McPherson for House.
At Farm Bureau, when we talk about protecting what matters most, we're not just talking about things with walls and things with wheels. We're talking about people, your family. Everything that's important to you is important to us. That's why our agents are ready to help protect your future and give you peace of mind today. Visit us online or just stop by to see how Farm Bureau agents make insurance simple.
Contact Jeff or Julie in Rapid City, South Dakota to see how they make insurance simple.
Rapid City Medical.
2 full innings of play in the books here at Floyd Fitzgerald Stadium between the Post 22 Hardhats and the Premier West Cardinals. Statistically across the board after 2. For Premier West, it's no runs on 1 hit, 3 errors in the field, 2 of which have come from the third base position. For the Post 22 Hardhats, it's 2 runs on 2 hits with 1 blemish defensively, and that was at the second base position. We now go back to the top of the Premier West order. Hunter Stevens, Jimmy LeConte, and Billy Cook. All three gentlemen a combined 0 for 1 with 1 strikeout. First pitch to Stevens is swung on and hit high in the air to shallow right field, and Weaver charges and makes the catch. So pop 9 in the scorebook. 1 up, 1 down defensively for the Hardhats on 1 pitch. That's going to bring up Jimmy LeConte, who was the first of now 3 strikeout victims for Cody Carlson.
And we were talking off air. I told you that Cody needs a nice, efficient, quick inning. He was at 42 pitches going into this inning. That's a good way to start it off. Now you want to see it continue against LeConte and Cook here in the 2 and 3 holes.
First pitch from LeConte catches the outside, from Carlson to LeConte catches the outside corner. No balls and a strike to starting count. LeConte, the only left-handed batter in this batting order that we have seen today. Out of the 9. 0-1, swung on and missed up high, strike 2. And quickly, Carlson asserting his dominance, 0-2, he's ahead.
And that high fastball got LeConte the first time in that strikeout in his first at-bat, so look for him to go right back to that high fastball, try and get him once again here with that high heat.
0-2, misses low and away. Ball and 2 strikes now the count. Carlson was hoping he'd fish for it and get the second punch out in as many at-bats head-to-head. 1 out, nobody on the base path here in the top of the third. Hardhats looking to preserve a 2-0 lead. 1-2 from Carlson to LeConte. Swung on and hit into left field. It's pushed opposite field from LeConte, and that's a base hit. So LeConte on the ropes down 1-2 in the count. Gets a single. He's now 1 for 2 on the game. He's on the base path with 1 out here in the top of the third. That's going to bring up Billy Cook, the shortstop, who reached on an error last time he was up.
And that ball just poked between Bowman and Kramer at short and third. No way to make a play for either of those two, but keeping that ball on the ground. We haven't seen any hard hit balls from this Premier West club, and a lot of ground balls here for Carlson, so that could be super effective with that runner on first base.
Check down to first from Carlson to Vickers is not there in time, so they're trying to keep LeConte on the base. LeConte takes his lead again. Cook still has yet to see his first pitch. And here it comes. Swung on and hit right up the middle. McSherry gets the stop, and he gets the shovel to second, but the throw to first is unfortunately late. So it's a 4-6 fielder's choice. And Billy Cook is safe at first. 2 outs now, still a man on first for Premier West, and that's going to bring up Christian Johnson, who's 0 for 1 with a pop-out.
Yeah, and Riley McSherry was still getting used to this playing second base every day, day in and day out, the main second baseman for the Hardhats. You thought he might have a chance to tag Cook and then go to first, and you think, well, Coach Messer will have a talk with him about that situation and try to get that double play in effect and try to get that double play turned for the next ground ball that he sees.
Christian Johnson is up, and his first pitch from Carlson rides inside for strike 1, caught the corner. No balls and a strike to count to Johnson, who's 0 for 1 with a pop-out. He has a man on first, 2 outs. Next pitch is swung on and hit to second. McSherry gets the stop. Throw to first is in time, and that is going to do it. So the Hardhats very efficient defensively in the top half of the third. No runs on a hit, no errors, and a man left on the base path. And at the end of 2.5 innings of play, it still remains 2-0. The Hardhats have their lead. Back to the sticks they go, to the bottom half of the third. And it's Zach Solano leading off, followed by Matt Vickers and Eric Petrie. We'll be right back, folks, here on the official web stream of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball, here on post22live.com.
Center honors tradition. Hi, I'm Jennifer Tricano, Chief Executive Officer. Owned by physicians, we love this community because it's our home. We coach Little League, are veterans of the armed forces, and send our kids to school with yours. 14 specialties in all, we've treated your family's healthcare needs since 1948. Like Post 22 Baseball, we set higher expectations for ourselves because that's what our legacy demands. Call 342-3280 for an appointment.
When a business opportunity comes knocking at your door, you need an
To the bottom half of the third inning we go. Post 22 Hardhats protected their 2-0 lead. Now they look to expand it against the Premier West Cardinals. This is game 1 of 4 to be played this weekend, head-to-head between both of these clubs. It's not necessarily a change of pace, but it's a change of scenery, if you will, because last week the Hardhats played 4 games in 4 days against 4 different opponents. These teams are probably going to hate each other after tomorrow night, playing 4 times in 3 days against each other.
Yeah, you see a team more than once in a weekend, you're not going to like them by the end of it. So, let alone 4 times. So these teams, they definitely know each other playing in past seasons, and there's going to be no love lost on Sunday.
Tyler Norris back on the mound, deals ball 1 to Zach Solano, who leads off for the Hardhats in this bottom half of the third. And quickly that count balloons to 2-0 as the next pitch went high and outside. Zach Solano, 0 for 1, reached on an error, came around to score. Matt Vickers, 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Eric Petrie, 1 for 1 with an RBI single due up. Next pitch is swung on and hit to third. Kajowski makes the stop, and the throw to first is in time. So it's a 5-3 in the scorebook. Solano is retired. 1 up, 1 down offensively for the Hardhats, and that's going to bring up Matt Vickers again, 0 for 1 with a strikeout.
And I believe we have a substitute at third base. I don't think Kajowski's in the game anymore. I think that's McCann, number 15. McCann coming into the game, if my eyes are serving me correct.
And I believe you are correct there, Teddy. That is Barrick McCann. First pitch to Matt Vickers is swung on and hit high in the air to center field, to very shallow center field. From the shortstop position, that's Billy Cook, and he makes the catch. So quickly, the Hardhats have 2 men down on all of 4 pitches, and that's going to bring up Eric Petrie, the DH, who is 1 for 1 with an RBI single.
That's tough. Petrie, who has the RBI base hit in his first at bat, he's looking to get something going with 2 outs. Get a little 2-out rally going, and at least don't let 1-2-3 inning come and give some momentum to Premier West.
First pitch to Petrie, over the heart of the plate for strike 1. 0-1 the count. Should Petrie safely get on the base path, Timmy Paris is on deck, and he grounded into a fielder's choice that ended the bottom half of the first. Next pitch is swung on and hit to third. Stops made on the play by McCann. Throw to first, barely in time, and that is going to do it. Well, unfortunately, it is a 1-2-3 inning for the Hardhats offensively, which means no runs, hits, errors, or anybody left on base. And at the end of 3 full innings, it remains 2-0. The Hardhats are still on top of Premier West. To the top half of the 4th inning we go. And we will see Barrick McCann, his first at-bat of the game, Gavin Shack, the catcher, and then Tyler Phillips, the second baseman. We'll be right back, folks, here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball, here on ESPN Radio, Rapid City, and streamed live on the internet at post22live.com.
Experienced banker who's open to helping you make the most of it.
I work closely with my clients to identify and maximize business growth opportunities. I'm Dan Shear from Security First Bank in Rapid City. As your business banker, I'm here to provide the resources and experience you need to get deals done.
Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on. Member FDIC.
If you're a younger runner getting into running, you want a shoe that can do it all. You can train in, you can race in, it looks cool, has a lot of Under Armour attitude to it. That's the Bandit.
We call ourselves Bandits. That's the Under Armour way, right? It's how we design product. It's how we live our life here at Under Armour.
There's nothing more.
I lied to all of our loyal listeners at the end of that bottom half of the third. We are unfortunately tonight not on ESPN Radio Rapid City as we normally are, because Game 4 of the NBA Finals is being played, and that unfortunately has precedence on national coverage for ESPN Radio.
And at the end of the first, the Warriors have a 29-28 lead over the Cavaliers in that game.
Nice segue, Teddy. This is why we're partners. Unbelievable.
I thought so. I had to look it up quick. I was hoping you'd talk enough so I could get it pulled up on my phone real quick.
Cody Carlson deals a first pitch strike to Barrick McCann, who's in the game for Nate Kajowski. Next pitch is swung on and hit high in the air to Carlson. He fields it, throw to first is in time. So it's a 1-3 in the scorebook that retires McCann. 1 up, 1 down defensively for the Hardhats. And here comes Gavin Shack, who walked the last time he was up.
And I say it about every time these pitchers get grounders, as soon as you let go of that pitch, you turn into another infielder. And that was a nice job there by Cody to field it, plant, and get a good throw over to Vickers at third. Good first out of the inning for this young man.
First pitch to Gavin Shack misses for ball 1. 1-0 the starting count here to Shack, who is the first and only walk of the game Carlson has issued. 1-0. That is ball 2. Awfully close.
Both those pitches were awfully close. That's tough. They can go either way. It depends on who's back there, and now you just got to adjust to the zone of the umpire behind the plate.
2-1, rides inside, ball 3 to Shack. 3 balls, no strikes to count. Carlson 1 pitch away from walking Shack for a second time in this game, which would bring up Tyler Phillips, the second baseman, 1-for-1 with a single.
We got all sorts of events going on. Rounds 3 through 10 of the MLB draft on tonight as well. The first, second, of course, last night. So just a lot of special events in sports going on tonight.
And Braden Webb, South Carolina pitcher, was taken in the 8th round of the Milwaukee Brewers. So my alma mater repping very well in the MLB draft. Carlson quickly battles back now to a full count with 2 strikes, 1 on the inside quarter, the next one on the outside quarter. So it's a full count once again to Shack. Deja vu for him because that was how Shack walked, was on a full count pitch. Here comes the payoff. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Carlson's not falling for that for a second time. That is K number 4 in the scorebook. 2 up, 2 down defensively for the Hardhats, and that is going to bring up Tyler Phillips, the second baseman.
Huge confidence boost there for Cody Carlson, battling back from 3-0 to get that strikeout. But I want to touch on something. I don't think anyone can get picked from my alma mater, of course. Black Hill State doesn't have a baseball team, unfortunately, so we're not going to see any picks out of old BHSU anytime soon, at least.
Well, you did go to Dakota Wesleyan at one point, so maybe somebody goes from Dakota Wesleyan. So.
Yeah, that could happen. We could see it. There was an NAIA player that was drafted in the first round this year, so a lot of questions about him, but it still happens. So it's fun to see these small-time players get big-time recognition.
First pitch to Phillips was outside for ball 1. Next pitch catches the inside part of the plate and evens the count from Carlson to Phillips at a ball and a strike. Last time Phillips was up, he singled. Was stranded at first, though. That was back in the top half of the second. Next pitch is fouled off. And now the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes. Carlson's 1 pitch away from his 5th strikeout in this start and from concluding the top half of the 4th.
What can you say about Cody Carlson? He gives this to you. It's almost we almost expect this every time he trots out onto the mound, which is hard, but every time he goes out, he's just magnificent when he's out there pitching.
Here's the 1-2. Rides inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The count from Carlson to Phillips. Should Phillips safely get on the base path, Brandon Barringer, the DH, is on deck, and he was the 3rd of now 4 strikeouts Carlson has issued in this game. And again, that was back in the top half of the second. 2-2. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. And the Hardhats roll with a 1-2-3 inning defensively, which means no runs, hits, errors, or anybody left on base. And at the end of 3.5 innings, Carlson and the Hardhats are rolling on defense. Back to the sticks they go with a 2-0 lead still intact. Timmy Paris leads off, followed by Alex Weaver and Riley McSherry. And we will bring you the bottom half of the 4th inning in just a few moments here on the official web stream of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball here on post22live.com.
American than traveling around this great nation, enjoying the outdoors with your friends and family. Camping World is proud to have been here by your side for 50 years. With thousands of parts and accessories available, plus service at over 120 supercenters nationwide, plus an affordable RV for every budget. Camping World will proudly service you, the RV consumer, for another 50 years. Visit Camping World in Rapid City or shop campingworld.com today.
America, Taco John's has a question for you. When did it become bad to actually enjoy breakfast? You know what I mean. Look at what you're eating. A thimble of yogurt? A bowl of twigs? Protein powder, for crying out loud? At Taco John's, it's no crime to feel like you didn't just eat. You had breakfast. We still serve the original and the best breakfast burritos this side of heaven. Hot, bold, and full of greatness. Breakfast shouldn't be a...
After 3.5 innings statistically across the board, it's the Premier West Cardinals from Denver. No runs, 2 hits, 3 errors defensively. For the Hardhats, 2 runs, 2 hits, and 1 error in the field. Timmy Paris leads off the bottom half of the 4th, and Tyler Norris still on the mound. His first pitch to the backstopper is high for ball 1. Norris will face Timmy Paris, currently up with a 1-0 count, followed by Alex Weaver and Riley McSherry. 1-0 to Paris. Swung on and hit over the head of Norris. It comes to the middle of the infield. Stops made on the play by short throw to first is in time. Great play by Billy Cook to come over basically to the exact middle of the infield at second, and he made the play 6-3 in the scorebook. 1 up, 1 down offensively for the Hardhats, and that's going to bring up Alex Weaver.
And of the 16 outs recorded for the Hardhats, Billy Cook has accounted for 5 of them. So Billy Cook at shortstop. Got to quit hitting it to that kid. He knows how to play some ball, and he'll make you pay. So try to go to second or third maybe in your second time at bat.
First pitch to Weaver is in there for strike 1. 0-1 his count, 0 for 1 his stat line. He grounded into one of those 6-3 plays you were talking about, Teddy. Here comes the 0-1 to Weaver. That rides high and inside, buzzes the tower, and the count evens to a ball and a strike. And shortstop getting a lot of work. Here's the 1-1 to Weaver. That catches the outside part of the plate for strike 2. Ball and 2 strikes. Now the count here to the young Alex Weaver. He came into this game with a .258 batting average, yet is currently 0 for 1 tonight. Norris back to his full windup. 1-2. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. So that is only the second strikeout in this game for Tyler Norris of Premier West. Quickly, though, 2 up, 2 down offensively for the Hardhats, and that's going to bring up Riley McSherry, who reached on an error the last time he was up back in the bottom of the second, however, was stranded at third base.
And you like to see that. Only 2 strikeouts now. We're into the 4th inning, so this Hardhats putting it in play.
First pitch to McSherry, swung out and hit high in the air to center field. Underneath it, though, is Miguel Marquez, and he makes the catch to end the inning. Well, back-to-back innings defensively for Premier West, it's a 1-2-3 inning, which means no runs, hits, errors, or anybody left on base. And at the end of 4 full innings, it's still the Hardhats on top, 2-0 over the Cardinals. We'll be right back, folks, with the top half of the 5th. The Hardhats go back to defense. And Cody Carlson will face Brandon Barringer, the DH, Miguel Marquez, the center fielder, and then back to the top of the order to Hunter Stevens. We'll be right back, folks, here on the official on the official web stream of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball, here on Post22Live.com.
A punishment. A TJ's breakfast burrito is your reward for waking up. Taco John's. Unwrap the original.
When a banker takes a hands-on approach to understanding your business, then you know you can count on them to give you a hand in reaching your goals.
I think the best way to know our business customers is by being their customer. I'm Kevin Dietz from Security First Bank in Rapid City. As your business banker, I go beyond the paperwork to understand the resources you need to get ahead.
Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on. Member FDIC.
Four innings in the books here at Floyd Fitzgerald Stadium. Statistically across the board, the Premier West Cardinals, representing Denver, Colorado, have no runs on 2 hits with 3 errors in the field. Post 22 Hardhats, 2 runs on 2 hits with 1 blemish defensively. Almost more than halfway through this 7-inning regulation ball game between the Hardhats and the Cardinals. We once again thank you so much for joining us here in Floyd Fitzgerald Stadium in our broadcast booth. Mark Manetti and Teddy Leipold alongside you for all the festivities this weekend, as both of these teams are squaring off in the first of what are 4 head-to-head matchups this weekend. 1 game tonight, a doubleheader starting at 5 o'clock tomorrow, and then the series finale, 10 a.m. on Sunday. Cody Carlson back to the bump for the Hardhats. He faces Brandon Barringer, the DH, to start off this top half of the 5th, and he deals a first-pitch strike over the heart of the plate. 0-1 starting count. Carlson quickly back to his windup, 0-1. Breaking ball misses outside. Ball and a strike evens the count. Barringer 0 for 1. He was the 3rd of 5 strikeout victims for Carlson so far in this start. It's his 3rd start of the year. 1-0 his record. Carlson again to the full windup. 1-1 to Barringer. Swung on and popped high. to the middle of the infield. Carlson underneath it. He's called off by Vickers, though, and Vickers makes the underhanded catch all the way from first. So great communication from Vickers to call off Carlson to make the catch. 1 up, 1 down defensively for the Hardhats, and that's going to bring up Miguel Marquez, who's 0 for 1.
Yeah, that was a very good play, and a nice job there by Vickers calling him off, like you said, and a nice job by Cody Carlson trusting his infielder and getting out of the way. It's always, as soon as somebody calls you off, you get out of the way of the ball, and that was great communication on the infield all around.
First pitch to Marquez, two-seam fastball catches the outside part of the plate. No balls and a strike, the starting count from Carlson to Marquez. Marquez is 0 for 1. He popped out to Matt Vickers in foul territory the last time he was up. That ended the top half of the second inning. 0-1. Misses high and outside, and the count evens to 1-1 from Carlson. Carlson has 5 strikeouts in this game through almost 5 full innings. Could be wrong. That's a pretty nice average to have, a K per inning.
Absolutely, and you think he'll get a couple more before this game is all said and done.
Next pitch was a breaking ball that missed, apparently high. 2 balls and a strike, the count from Carlson now.
Oh, you sound like me getting on these umpires now. Oh, man. I don't have too many objections in today's ball game, but there's a couple pitches that are borderline, but you can't expect them to get all of them.
2-1, that two-seamer catches the outside part of the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes now the count. Carlson looking for K number 6 in the scorebook. Hunter Stevens, the right fielder, is on deck. He's 0 for 2. 3-1 ground out. Pop out to very shallow right field, Alex Weaver. 2-2 to Marquez. High and away, and the count pushes full now. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Marquez. This is a very interesting game. Both of these teams coming in with so much momentum. Premier West has won 7 in a row. The Hardhats have won 13 in a row. Premier West averages 9.27 runs per game. The Hardhats 10.1. Right now it is a 2-0 duel. Hardhats have the lead. Payoff to Marquez. Is swung on and hits a second. McSherry gets the stop on the hop. Throw to first is in time. 4-3 in the scorebook. 2 up, 2 down defensively for the Hardhats. And that's going to bring us back to the top of the order to Hunter Stevens, the leadoff hitter, who is again 0 for 2.
Yeah, and I believe both these teams, it'd be safe to say this is the toughest opponent for each of these teams that they've seen coming in. And that's what you like. You like a good game like this, 2-run deficit in the last 3 innings of this ball game, and you got to like it. This is a very good baseball game. The first inning was a little rough, few errors here and there, but after that, both teams settled down, really clicking on all cylinders.
3 errors between both clubs in that first inning. You're exactly right. 2 from Premier West, 1 from the Hardhats. Carlson deals ball 1 to Stevens and then immediately follows up with probably one of the most pristine 2-seam fastballs you'll ever see. Ball and a strike now evens it.
Yeah, that 2-seam fastball with so much break on it that it's so hard to hit for these right-handed hitters. For any-handed hitters.
1-1 catches the zone for strike 2. Ball and 2 strikes now the count from Carlson to Hunter Stevens.
I don't know where you got a Mitch. There's no Mitch on this roster.
He was a former player the Rush played against. Swung on and missed. Strike 3 is the next pitch. That's K number 6 for Carlson in the book, and that will end the top half of the 5th. Mitch Stevens played against the Rush. I'm trying to remember what team he played for, but I can't for the life of me remember. He was the defenseman. 1-2-3 inning for the Hardhats as we try to get all the hockey references aside. No runs, hits, errors, or anybody left on base. And at the end of 4.5, the Hardhats still have their 2-0 lead intact and look to try and add a few more runs in the bottom half. Justin Kramer leads off. Then back to the top of the order we go to Cooper Bowman and Drake Messenger here on the official web stream of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball on Post22Live.com.
Honda knows you expect a lot from your car. But we wanted to give you even more. So we gave the Civic, the best-selling car in its class, even more horsepower. More room than ever. And a stylish new exterior. Introducing the all-new Civic, the 2016 North American Car of the Year. Nothing compares to a Honda.
Where will you find Black Hills State University graduates? Everywhere, locally, nationally, and internationally. Black Hills State University is where community leaders are inspired, where future teachers are prepared, where global connections lead to business connections, and where underground research is changing the way we understand the universe. Visit bhsu.edu and enroll now at Black Hills State University, where you can earn your degree affordably and with campuses in Spearfish and Rapid City. Stay in the beautiful Black Hills. Where does your future begin? At Black Hills State University, where anything is possible.
Maintaining health.
Well, we've solved the problem as to who I believe Mitch Stevens is, and he actually happened to play for the Rush. That's where I remember his name is from the record book that I composed at the start of this offseason for the Rapid City Rush. So now that that's out of the way, we now go to the bottom half of the fifth, and Justin Kramer leads off. First pitch that he sees from Tyler Norris, still on the mound, is ball one, low and away. Justin Kramer, then back to the top of the order to Cooper Bowman, 1 for 1, and Drake Messenger, who was 0 for 1. And the next pitch to Kramer catches the zone for strike one. 1-1 now to the third baseman of the Hardhats. Norris working very quick. 1-1. Catches the inside part for strike two, and now he is ahead against Kramer. Ball and 2 strikes.
And I don't mind taking that pitch. Stevens came into this inning only throwing 45 pitches, so you want to see his pitch count get up. You don't want to see him go this full 7, so I like taking a couple pitches.
1-2 is swung on and weakly hit to Norris on the mound. He gets the scoop, and the backhanded toss to first is in time. 1 up, 1 down offensively for the Hardhats, and again, that brings us back to Cooper Bowman, who was 1 for 1. Singled, came around to score, and walked the last time he was up. So he is on base every time in this game.
Yeah, one of the lone bright spots offensively. Of course, only 2 hits for this Hard Hat team, and Cooper Bowman has one of them, and Eric Petrie has the other. So Cooper Bowman really seeing Norris well. Everyone else looking to catch up, now seeing the third time through this lineup.
Bowman looks at strike one from Norris, outside corner. 0-1 the count, and quickly back to it. Bowman hits that ball to second, and it goes away from Tyler Phillips and into right field. And Bowman is safe at first.
That's going to be interesting if that's an error or not. I think it'd be a hit, but Phillips just couldn't get his glove down, so it's going to be interesting to see. I'm waiting. I'm looking at that scoreboard, waiting to see that H or that E come up.
I'm looking at it too.
Yeah, that's going to be an error in E4. Yeah, I believe. I mean, Phillips, he was right there, and he just didn't get his glove down. It rolled right underneath his glove. So, nice job there by Bowman to get on base, though, and standing there at first. Now on base 3 out of 3 times.
So here comes Drake Messenger. Runner goes, and the pitch is swung on and hit to third. Stop is made on the play by McCann. Throw to first is in time. Bowman, in the meantime, goes to third. What outstanding heads-up base running by Cooper Bowman. Hit and run was in effect, and he got such a great jump he was safe at second, but nobody covered third after McCann made the throw to get Messenger out at first. So now Bowman is on third with Zach Solano now up 2 outs here in the bottom of the fifth.
Yeah, and you'd like to see with 1 out, but Messenger did a nice job making contact with that ball, putting it in play, and Bowman saw as soon as McCann made that throw, there was a vacancy at third base, and Bowman showing his athleticism, really getting on his horse and beating I believe it was Cook who tried to cover the bag, but just beat him in a foot race to get to third base.
Solano looks at ball 1 up high from Norris. 1-0 the count to Solano, who is 0 for 2 in this game. Next pitch is swung on it, hit high in the air to center field. Ball has some distance on it. Marquez, though, shy of the warning track, makes the catch, and that will once again end a Hard Hats threat. No runs, no hits, 1 defensive error for Premier West. 1 man left on the base path that he was 90 feet away from home in scoring position. 5 full innings in the books. Hardhats still have their 2-0 lead intact over the Premier West Cardinals. To the top half of the 6th inning we go. And Cody Carlson comes back out onto the mound to face Jimmy LeConte, Billy Cook, and Christian Johnson. We'll be right back, folks, here on the official web stream of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball, here on Post22Live.com.
The eyes requires regular vision exams. Dr. Paula Sorensen at InVision Optical and Eye Care strives to provide quality vision solutions and exceptional customer service. She values the opportunity to build a lifelong friendly relationship with you and your family. InVision Optical and Eye Care on West Main, across from the guard camp.
Buying a home is a big decision. Choosing to work with a banker who'll help you through every step of the process is an easy one.
I work hard to help homebuyers find the mortgage that fits their lifestyle and needs. I'm Megan Baum from Security First Bank in Rapid City. As your mortgage lender, I'm here to make you feel at home.
Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 1309178.
This is Mark the...
To the top half of the 6th inning we go here at Floyd Fitzgerald Stadium. Statistically, across the board through the first 5 innings of play for the Premier West Cardinals from Denver, it's no runs on 2 hits with 4 errors now in the field. For the Post 22 Hardhats, it's 2 runs on 2 hits with 1 error defensively. Cody Carlson back to the bump for the Hardhats as the rest of them take their respective defensive positions. Carlson will face Jimmy LeConte, Billy Cook, and Christian Johnson, all three gentlemen of which are a combined 1 for 6 with 1 strikeout in this ballgame.
That's a pretty good stat line. I like the odds of Cody Carlson here on the mound against these three gentlemen.
Jimmy LeConte, the first one up, he has that lone hit of those three that we just mentioned. And the first pitch that he sees is inside for strike 1. Jimmy LeConte was the first of 6 strikeout victims for Cody Carlson. He singled the last time he was up, though, pushed the ball opposite field. 0-1. Swung on and hit into right. Ball has some distance on it. It is high, it is far, and it goes all the way to the wall. Weaver fields it on a hop from the warning track. Great throw to the infield as the ball now goes to Bowman. So it's a leadoff double for Jimmy LeConte. His second hit in as many at-bats. Leadoff man is in scoring position. That's going to bring up Billy Cook, who is 0 for 2, reached on an error, and on a fielder's choice.
And that's tough right there. Cody Carlson left that changeup, I believe it was, on the inside part of the plate. And LeConte, like you said, he made great contact with it. No team has taken the Hardhats deep yet, so that's still intact. But leadoff double, now you have a man in scoring position to try and cut in this Hardhat lead. If you're Cody Carlson, you want to get Cook at the plate.
First pitch is a two-seam fastball with a lot of zip on it, but it just missed for ball 1. 1-0 the count to Billy Cook. Reached on an error in the top of the first. Reached on a fielder's choice in the top of the third. 1-0. Misses up high. 2 balls, no strikes. The count to Cook. Cook has LeConte on second. Premier West has left 2 men in scoring position. Those both came in the first 2 innings of play. 2-0. Changeup's in there for strike 1. 2 balls and a strike now the count from Carlson to Cook.
Yeah, got that big strike off the board. Those 2 balls back-to-back were a little high. Cook with that low stance. So Carlson, a nice job bringing it down a little bit. Now you look for that fastball to follow suit.
2-1 is fouled, and Carlson has quickly battled back. 2 balls and 2 strikes now the count. He's looking for K number 7, and boy, would it be clutch if he could ring that one up in the book.
Absolutely. You get that first out, and you have to leave that man stranded on second base. The more batters you see, you'd like to keep him on second base. So a nice job there by Carlson getting that strike back, battling in this count, and now you need to get that third strike. I don't think he's going to mess around here, try to get him chase anything. I think he's going to go right after Cook, who hasn't made very good contact with it at all.
2 balls, 2 strikes the count. Man on second, nobody out. Carlson deals. Swung on and hit up the middle. Bowman gets the stop. Throw to first is in time. But in the ensuing shuffle, Jimmy LeConte advances to third. So it's a 6-3 ground out for Billy Cook, the first out of this inning. There is a man 90 feet away from putting Premier West on the board. And now that brings up the cleanup hitter, Christian Johnson, who's 0 for 2 with a pop-up to second. And then he grounded out into a 4-3 play.
And it's interesting to see right now. You're at that point of the game. Premier West down to their 4 final outs of this game if they cannot tie it. So you might trade an out for a run here on third. LeConte's on third. You might take an out here from Johnson. That's why you don't see these infielders playing on the grass. So it's going to be interesting to see the strategy of Coach Messer and this Hardhat infield.
Johnson looks at ball 1 from Carlson. 1-0 his starting count. Carlson right back to it, deals strike 1. That catches the inside part of the plate. 1-1 the count now to Christian Johnson, who is 0 for 2, and he has LeConte on third, with a chance to have the deficit. Hardhats have a 2-0 lead. Look to keep it that way. 1-1 swung on and missed strike 2. Cody Carlson went with a just devastating changeup. Ball and 2 strikes the count.
Yeah, it took a lot of speed off of that, and when you're coming in with such velocity in the high 80s that you come in with a pitch that's in the mid-70s, it feels like a night and day difference in that batter's box.
1-2 swung on and missed strike 3. K number 7 for Cody Carlson. 2 down, that man still on third base in LeConte, and that is going to bring up Barrick McCann, who took over for Nate Kajowski at third. Kajowski went 0 for 1 with a strikeout looking. McCann currently 0 for 1, grounded out from Carlson to first.
That's now 37 strikeouts on the season, and we'll even give Cody an extra out here on 25 innings pitched.
First pitch to McCann. Breaking ball does not break down. That's ball 1. 1-0 starting count. Carlson now with 7 strikeouts in this start. trying to strand LeConte 90 feet away from home. 1-0, swung on and missed. And the count evens now to a ball and a strike to Barrick McCann, now playing at third for the Premier West Cardinals.
And you see McCann, it's tough to see on the stream, I believe, but with as fast as Cody's pitching, this velocity, you see a lot of these hitters, they're rocking back on their heels because they feel like they have to swing so much harder to catch up with this pitch, and that causes their timing to be thrown off. So not only does the velocity hurt you just because it's so hard to hit, but it also throws your timing off as a hitter, and Carlson's just been devastating to this lineup today.
Ball and a strike, the count from Carlson to McCann, and now time is called. So here's the scenario. It's a 1-1 count to McCann, 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. Hardhats have a 2-0 lead, and Premier West is Jimmy LeConte on third. Next pitch swung on and missed, strike 2. Ball and 2 strikes, the count. That looked to be ball 2, but McCann swung away.
Well, like that velocity's keeping trouble. You have to make a split decision if you're going to swing or not going to swing, and Carlson's 1 pitch away from keeping this shutout intact against a very good Premier West team.
1-2 just missed outside, and McCann check swung. He's not falling for that twice in a row. 2 balls and 2 strikes now, the count to McCann.
Yeah, able to hold his bat back, and that was close. Thought he might have had him, but it was a good call. I don't think he went around, across the plane of the plate. So now 1 more pitch, and Carlson, he's going to go right at him here. He doesn't want a full count.
2 balls, 2 strikes, the count. And he deals, caught him looking, strike 3, and that's going to do it. 8 strikeouts in this start for Cody Carlson, and he keeps that goose egg on the board. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, 1 man left on the base path that he was 90 feet away from home. And at the end of 5.5 innings, the Hardhats once again have preserved their 2-0 lead. To the bottom half of the 6th inning we go. Matt Vickers, Eric Petrie, and Timmy Paris are due up for the Hardhats. We'll be right back with the bottom of the 6th here on the official web stream of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball here on on Post22Live.com.
The Freedom Poet, and I want to tell you about 2 wonderful candidates for South Dakota legislature, Sean McPherson and Craig Eriks. I've known both of them for many years, and I trust them to be faithful champions of our precious Constitution. That includes how they defend our Bill of Rights. Faith, family, and freedom are very important to these men, and they cannot be bought or pressured to vote for anything that they think is harmful to individual freedom or our precious republic. Please vote June 7th in the Republican primary for Craig Eriks and Sean McPherson.
Paid for by Eriks for SD House and McPherson for House.
At Farm Bureau, when we talk about protecting what matters most, we're not just talking about things with walls and things with wheels. We're talking about people, your family. Everything that's important to you is important to us.
Off the air, we were just commenting how quickly this game has gone. We are going into the bottom of the 6th inning. Teddy thinks that this game started just shy of 7, maybe after 7. That was when we were scheduled to start. And it is currently 8:08 Mountain Time. And we're almost done with this game. It is moving at a very fast pace.
That's what happens when you get 2 very good teams together. You don't get those big innings. You don't get a lot of mistakes. And you see a lot of 1, 2, 3 innings, batters up, batters down.
First pitch from Tyler Norris to Matt Vickers is fouled. No balls and a strike starting count. Vickers comes into this at-bat 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a pop-out. Looking to get something started for the Hardhats here. This could quite possibly be their final offensive inning, should Premier West not plate 2 in the top half of the 7th.
Well, you absolutely want to get at least 1, 2 insurance runs in this inning.
So Norris still on the mound for Premier West. 0-1 to Vickers. Missed outside, just barely. Ball and a strike now the count. Norris is going to face Matt Vickers, 0 for 2. Eric Petrie, 1 for 2 with an RBI single. And Timmy Paris, 0 for 2. Next pitch to Vickers is fouled first base side and fielded cleanly by Pete Barrows, the first base coach over there. And the count now goes to a ball and 2 strikes.
And another way this game gets moving fast is Tyler Norris in the last 3 innings has only needed 22 pitches.
1-2 is swung on and aligned by the outstretched glove of Tyler Phillips and into right for a base hit. So Matt Vickers gets his first hit of the ball game. It is only the 3rd hit of the game for the Hardhats. Leadoff man is on the base path, and that's going to bring up Eric Petrie, who is 1 for 2 already with an RBI hit.
Yeah, Eric Petrie can really get something going here, and you need that leadoff runner on. The last time the leadoff runner made it on base was that first inning, and Cooper Bowman hit that single, came around to score. So this is what you like seeing. Eric Petrie was actually the one to get the base hit to bring him in. So you like to see it. Get that insurance run. You can get a 3-run lead here. It will be huge going into the final 3 outs of the 7th.
Check down to first, not there in time. Norris trying to keep Vickers close to the bag. And tries to check down again. That is once again not there to get him out. Eric Petrie has yet to see a pitch in this at-bat. 1 for 2 with an RBI single, and then he grounded out to third last time he was up. First pitch to Petrie, misses outside. Ball and no strikes the count.
And those checkdowns over to Vickers, those weren't trying to pick him off. Those were just keeping him close because you saw the hit and run with Cooper Bowman. You think it might be on again, but Vickers just keeping him close.
Next pitch to Petrie, swung on it, hit high in the air to right center field. Ball has some distance on it. It is high, and it is far, and it goes all the way off the wall. No, they're saying that it's caught, and the throw to first is in time. It is an 9-6-3 double play. Awfully close to tell towards that wall. I don't know how the umpire saw that, but if that was the correct call, then kudos to him. He's got the eyes of a hawk.
Yeah, that's tough, and I don't think it was not. I think it was an F8-6-3 double play because I believe Marquez was the one to drift over from center. I thought it was off the wall, but that's tough. If Petrie put that anywhere else in the field, that was right under the 393 sign, the deepest part of this ballpark. He would have had a 2-run shot, and he got everything in that pitch, but it was tough. And now 2 outs, so now Timmy Paris is looking to get something started here for the Hardhats and try to get a 2-out run across.
First pitch to Paris is low and away for ball 1. Want to know his starting count? He is 0 for 2, grounded into a fielder's choice and then grounded out to short. Next pitch is foul tipped into the glove, and that evens the count at a ball and a strike for Paris. So in a crazy defensive play, to the credit of the Premier West Cardinals, what was a man on first and nobody out is now the base is empty and 2 outs. Next pitch to Paris is pushed into right field. That's a base hit, and that's going all the way to the warning track. Paris is going to turn on his afterburners. He's going to second, and the throw's not going to get there in time. So it's a 2-out stand-up double for Timmy Paris, and that puts a man in scoring position for the Hardhats and brings up Alex Weaver with 2 outs and a chance to knock in at least possibly one more run.
Huge at bat there for Timmy Paris, getting his 5th double on the season and putting himself in scoring position. Just like you said, this is huge. Now a base hit from Alex Weaver here will score it. Weaver 0 for 2 up to this point. He could come through huge for his Hardhat team and put a run on the board, an insurance run going into the 7th.
First pitch to Weaver, catches the inside part of the plate for strike 1. 0-1 the starting count to Weaver, who again has Paris 180 feet away from home. He's across from him on the diamond. As Teddy likes to say, he'd like to switch places with him right now. Hardhats have a 2-0 lead, trying to get the last runs that they can on the board. And the next pitch to Weaver catches the inside part again for strike 2, and he is quickly behind to Tyler Norris. No balls and 2 strikes.
And I think we had a misprint on the lineup. Weaver's wearing 28 tonight, not 30, unless I just wrote it in wrong because I'm used to writing 30 for Weaver. So I was off at least.
I made the same mistake if it makes you feel better.
Okay.
Weaver fouls off the next pitch, so the count remains at no balls and 2 strikes. And it's hard because he still has both uniform sets. So one day, if he feels like it, he comes out with 30. The next day, he comes out with 28. So.
Yeah. Well, I think I saw Jason Hurst wearing the number 30 on the coaching side. So maybe 28's here to stay. I don't know. We'll see.
Maybe it is. Next pitch is fouled off again by Weaver, so this will be the 5th pitch that he sees. He's still behind 0-2 to Norris. At least he's getting his money worth, though. This is a great battle here. Man on second, 2 outs, 0-2 the count, and Norris deals. Swung on and fouled again. And we will lather, rinse, repeat with an 0-2 pitch.
Nice battle here from Alex Weaver. He understands that this is a big at-bat, and he understands that he needs a base hit right now to try and score Timmy Paris from second. So he's battling there in the box and doing a nice job.
Paris gets a look. 0-2. Outside. Ball and 2 strikes now the count. Great patience from Weaver.
Yeah, that ball was close. We've seen the ump call that pitch a couple times in this game, so Weaver, nice job laying off it and protecting.
1-2 is swung on and hit to short. Stops man on the play by Cook. Throw to first is in time, and that is going to end the Hardhats' threat. No runs on 2 hits. No errors defensively for Premier West. 1 man left on the base path. He was in scoring position. That was Timmy Paris on second. 6 full innings in the books. The Hardhats are 3 outs away from their 14th straight win and from halting the 7-game winning streak of the Premier West Cardinals. Top of the 7th we go. And Gavin Shack, Tyler Phillips, and Brandon Barringer will take their spots in the batter's box and go head-to-head against Cody Carlson, quite possibly one last time in this game. We'll be right back, folks, here on the official web stream of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball here on Post22Live.com.
That's why our agents are ready to help protect your future and give you peace of mind today. Visit us online or just stop by to see how Farm Bureau agents make insurance simple.
Contact Jeff or Julie in Rapid City, South Dakota to see how they make insurance simple.
Rapid City Medical Center honors tradition. Hi, I'm Jennifer Tricano, Chief Executive Officer. Owned by physicians, we love this community because it's our home. We coach Little League, are veterans of the armed forces, and send our kids to school with yours. 14 specialties in all, we've treated your family's healthcare needs since 1948. Like Post 22 Baseball, we set higher expectations for ourselves because that's what our legacy demands. Call 342-3280 for an appointment.
When
The Hardhats are 3 outs away from winning their 14th consecutive game. It's not nearly as offensively dominant as some of their last 13 wins have been. This has actually been a very entertaining game between two extremely gifted clubs in Premier West and the Hardhats. Through the 6 innings we have in the book, Premier West has no runs on 3 hits with 4 errors in the field. For the Hardhats, it's 2 runs on 4 hits with 1 blemish defensively. And Teddy, you made the comment earlier in the game, that first inning was critical because that's the only inning in which any runs have been plated.
Absolutely. There are 3 errors between the two teams. 2 runs scored for the Hardhats in that first inning, and it's zeros across the board for the rest of the time for both sides. And I believe it's only been 1 hit for the Hardhats and 2 hits for the Premier West Cardinals since that first inning. So pitching dominating this ball game from start to finish.
First pitch from Carlson to Gavin Shack misses for ball 1. Carlson trying to end this game, give the Hardhats win number 14 in a row, and halt the 7-game winning streak of the Cardinals. Next pitch is in there for strike 1, and everything evens to a ball and a strike. Carlson's going to face Gavin Shack right now with a 1-1 count. Tyler Phillips, the second baseman, and Brandon Barringer, the DH. Carlson to the full windup, 1-1. Breaking ball misses high and away, goes to 2 balls and a strike.
And it'll be interesting to see how far Carlson's going to go in this game. I think he's going to get, unless he gets into some big trouble, I think he'll go the distance, but he's throwing his 97th pitch right now.
2-1, swung on and missed, strike 2. Gavin Shack. 2 balls, 2 strikes now the count. Carlson, 1 gets in the scorebook. Incredible start for him, as always. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and he deals. Swung on and fouled, and Shack stays alive.
And we know Cody Carlson can go well over 100 pitches. He has the arm for it, and he's an older pitcher. He has the stamina. So I think we'll see him go the distance and try to get this complete game shutout win.
2-2, missed high and away, and the count goes full now for Gavin Shack. Every time Shack has been up, it's been a full count, and he's walked and struck out.
So it's the rubber match in this third at bat here for Cody Carlson and Gavin Shack.
Rubber match and trying to keep him off the bases. Here's a payoff pitch. Swung on it, hit foul. That goes up the first base line, and the count will hold full with payoff pitch number 2 coming up. I like that. That was a good one. Rubber match of the at-bats.
There we go. Well, you got 1-1, and hopefully Cody can put another one over the plate and punch him out to try to take it.
Payoff pitch number 2 from Carlson. Caught him looking. A backwards K in the book. It's number 9 on the game for Carlson. 1 up, 1 down defensively for the Hardhats here at the top of the 7th, and that's going to bring up Tyler Phillips.
And 1/3 of his strikeouts, so he has 9, so we'll do the quick math. 3 of them are virtue of window shopping. Backwards Ks in the scorebook, just littered all over this Premier West lineup. So Carlson still just throwing so much velocity, well over 100 pitches now.
And there's another high-velocity pitch. A fastball's in there for strike 1 on Phillips. 0-1 is starting count. Phillips 1 for 2 with a single, and then the 5th of what are now 9 Cody Carlson strikeouts. 0-1. Misses low and inside, and the count will even to 1-1.
Another benefit of being a high-velocity pitcher like Carlson is these hitters aren't going to stand in the box and take one off the hip to get that free pass to first. They're jumping out of the way, so Carlson can go hard inside and really scare these hitters off the plate.
1-1 is fouled directly behind home plate, so now the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes from Carlson to Phillips. Carlson, the only Hardhats pitcher with double-digit strikeouts in a single start. He's one pitch away from doing that twice.
Yeah, 10 strikeouts against post 320, and this is a lot better opponent to do it against.
1-2, swung on and missed, strike 3, and there it is. K number 10 in the book. 2 up, 2 down defensively for the Hardhats here in the top of the 7th, and quite possibly the final batter of this game. Brandon Barringer, the DH, now takes to the box.
Well, now he's trying to best his own personal record of 10, so now he can try and get 11 here with Barringer in the box. And Barringer, who did strike out, was 3 out of 10, the third strikeout out of the 10 that Cody Carlson has. So he's looking to get another K on that board and finish with punching out the entire top of the 7th inning.
Here comes Barringer. First pitch to him. Rides a little too far inside for ball 1. Barringer 0 for 2 with that strikeout, as Teddy mentioned. That came back at the top of the 2nd, and then he popped out to Matt Vickers. Carlson was called off on that play. That was the first out of the top of the 5th. 1-0 from Carlson is in there on the inside part of the plate for strike 1, and the count will even things at a ball and a strike.
What a pitching performance we're seeing here from Cody Carlson. It's absolutely amazing. Like we said, we almost expect this out of him each time, but it's so hard to come out and do this every time. It just speaks volumes to the gifts this kid has on the mound, and he was born to throw a baseball. It's a special to watch and see.
Next pitch is fouled off. A ball and 2 strikes the count. Carlson 1 pitch away from taking care of the whole final inning of this game by himself. It's got to be really boring for the fielders, but I'm sure they very much appreciate it. Ball and 2 strikes, the count to Barringer. Carlson looking for number 11. 1-2, buzzes the tower high and inside, and the count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Trying to get him on that high fastball, high and inside. It's more of a defensive swing when the hitters swing at that, but Barringer laid off it, now 2-2, so I don't think Cody Carlson's going to go away from his fastball. He's a power pitcher. He wants to get this final out with his fastball.
2-2 to Barringer. Swung on and missed, strike 3. And that is going to do it. Cody Carlson retires the last 5 batters he sees in this game by virtue of a K in the scorebook. 11 in this start, and the Hardhats get their second shutout of the year. 2-0, the final score after 6.5 innings. Not more you can say about number 29 on the mound. A pristine start.
Absolutely not. I'm sure he was talking with Coach Messer in that 6th, and he was like, can you go out for the 7th? How's your arm feeling? He was over 90 pitches, and Carlson, I'm sure it was just, let me get it, Coach. That's how he is. And he came out, struck out the side for the Hardhats, and it's just an amazing performance by Cody Carlson. He came out really firing today. All his pitches, he commanded them so well. 11 strikeouts to only 1 walk. It speaks volumes to how this kid pitched, and that's a complete game shutout for number 29 out there.
A complete game 3-hit shutout at that. Absolutely incredible to see what he did in 7 innings of work tonight. Just again, Teddy, you hit it right on the head earlier in the broadcast when you said that we're running out of things to say about this kid, but you're right. He was born to throw a baseball, and we are seeing what could possibly be some future greatness in baseball right in front of us.
That's exactly it. He's so good on the mound, and as a left-handed pitcher, you don't see a whole lot of those power lefties at this level, and he's just absolutely dominating, and he can do it at the next level too. He's such a hard worker behind the scenes, so every time he comes out for a start, he's prepared. He gets himself mentally prepared, and oh, man, that was a special game to watch. Cody Carlson said, hey, boys, get on my back. I'll take you to the promised land, and that's what he did.
Final stat line across the board after 6.5 innings of play. For the Premier West Cardinals from Denver, Colorado, it was no runs on 3 hits with 4 errors in the field, 2 of which came from the third base position in the first inning. For the Hardhats, it was 2 runs on 4 hits with 1 blemish in the field. That was at second base also back in the first inning. We're going to take a quick recess. Teddy and I will gather some thoughts, tabulate some statistics, and we'll be back with your post-game show and statistical recap here on the official web stream of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball here on Post22Live.com.
A business opportunity comes knocking at your door. You need an experienced banker who's open to helping you make the most of it.
I work closely with my clients to identify and maximize business growth opportunities. I'm Dan Shear from Security First Bank in Rapid City. As your business banker, I'm here to provide the resources and experience you need to get deals done.
Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on. Member FDIC.
If you're a younger runner getting into running, you want a shoe that can do it all. You can train in, you can race in, it looks cool, has a lot of Under Armour attitude to it. That's the Bandit.
We call ourselves bandits. That's the Under Armour way, right? It's how we design product. It's how we live our life here at Under Armour.
There's nothing more American than traveling around this great nation, enjoying the outdoors with your friends and family. Camping World is proud to have been here by your side for 50 years. With thousands of parts and accessories available, plus service at over 120 supercenters nationwide, plus an affordable RV for every budget. Camping World will proudly service you, the RV consumer, for another 50 years. Visit Camping World in Rapid City or shop campingworld.com today.
America, Taco John's has a question for you. When did it become bad to actually enjoy breakfast? You know what I mean. Look at what you're eating. A thimble of yogurt? A bowl of twigs? Protein powder, for crying out loud? At Taco John's, it's no crime to feel like you didn't just eat. You had breakfast. We still serve the original and the best breakfast burritos this side of heaven. Hot, bold, and full of greatness. Breakfast shouldn't be a punishment. A TJ's breakfast burrito is your reward for waking up. Taco John's. Unwrap the original.
When a banker takes a hands-on approach to understanding your business, then you know you can count on them to give you a hand in reaching your goals.
I think the best way to know our business customers is by being their customer. I'm Kevin Dietz from Security First Bank in Rapid City. As your business banker, I go beyond the paperwork to understand the resources you need to get ahead.
Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on. Member FDIC.
Honda knows you expect a lot from your car. But we wanted to give you even more. So we gave the Civic, the best-selling car in its class, even more horsepower. More room than ever. And a stylish new exterior. Introducing the all-new Civic, the 2016 North American Car of the Year. Nothing compares to a Honda.
Where will you find Black Hills State University graduates? Everywhere, locally, nationally, and internationally. Black Hills State University is where community leaders are inspired, where future teachers are prepared, where global connections lead to business connections, and where underground research is changing the way we understand the universe. Visit bhsu.edu and enroll now at Black Hills State University, where you can earn your degree affordably and with campuses in Spearfish and Rapid City. Stay in the beautiful Black Hills. Where does your future begin? At Black Hills State University, where anything is possible.
Maintaining healthy eyes.
Well, this was a very short game, to say the least. If we started, let's just assume for a second, we started at 7, right on the dot. This game took less than an hour and a half to play. Incredible to see such great baseball between two very gifted clubs in the visiting Premier West Cardinals from Denver, Colorado, and your Post-22 Hardhats. The latter of those two teams, of which has just won their 14th consecutive game and 19th overall in 22 games. Statistically across the board for you, in 6.5 regulation innings of play, Premier West had no runs on 3 hits, 4 errors in the field, 5 runners left on base, 3 of which were in scoring position. For the Hardhats, it was 2 runs on 4 hits with 1 blemish defensively, also 5 runners left on base, also 3 of which were left in scoring position. We thank you so much for having joined us all evening long. Trust me, Teddy and I are in for a long weekend of work here, but we are all excited for what baseball we're going to see. If this is any indication of what we're going to see this week, it is going to be a very tight series as the weekend plays out. Mark Minetti and Teddy Leipold alongside you in the broadcast booth, now bringing you your post-game show and statistical recap for tonight's 2-0 Hardhats win over the Premier West Cardinals. And Teddy, I hope you would echo that sentiment that if this game is any indication of what we're going to watch this weekend, then buckle your seatbelts, because this is going to be one heck of a weekend of baseball.
It's going to be an amazing weekend of baseball. Both teams very, very good. I don't think we're going to see another game like this, because they're not going to have Cody Carlson and Tyler Norris respectively for their clubs out on the mound. So I think we'll see a little offense coming tomorrow, and especially on Sunday when you get down in arms. We know Post-22 so deep in that pitching rotation, so they'll trot out a very quality pitcher every game. And it'll be interesting to see how Premier West responds with their pitching with 4 games in 3 days. But I think we're going to see some offense tomorrow. Of course, we're not going to see these two on the mound, but this game today, it's awesome, and it's so much fun to watch these kind of games, and it's going to be a good weekend between both these clubs.
At this point in the season, this was the lowest scoring game, not only for the Hardhats, but between both clubs. This is incredible. 2 combined runs between both clubs in almost 7 full innings of play. It's nuts how pitching really did dictate how this game was going to be played.
Oh, gosh. Exactly. We see the Hardhats explode for 20 runs a couple times, or close to 20 at least, a couple times this season. And Premier West coming in averaging over 9 runs per game, and the Hardhats averaging over 10 per game. You thought it'd be an offensive duel, but like I said, Cody Carlson and Tyler Norris each had different agendas, thinking, well, we're not going to let offense dictate this game. Give the pitchers a little bit of credit, and they went out and battled hard for their teams. And Cody Carlson just came out and edged out Norris for that big win, and he did it. He did it a lot. Of the 21 outs recorded for Premier West, Cody got 11 of them at the plate. So that was huge. He got over half the outs just at the plate right there.
11 of them at the plate, and he was involved in 13 of them with a 3-1 and a 1-3 ground out, both to his position. So Cody definitely earned his keep tonight, that's for sure. Let's go ahead and recap the 6.5 innings of regulation that we saw here, Teddy, and really all we have to talk about is the bottom half of the first inning and how errors killed Premier West, and then from there how Cody Carlson went in cruise control and the Hardhats didn't look back.
Absolutely, and it all started with Cooper Bowman. We talked in the pregame, we talked when he came up, that he's probably found a good spot in that leadoff, and he's there to stay, and he started it with a base hit, and then Drake Messenger, so good at that bunt, sacrifice bunt him over. And then, like you said, those errors. Solano came up, E5, advanced, or got to first. And then E1 advanced him to second, and Cooper Bowman in to score. And then, of course, Vicker struck out, but Eric Petrie was right there to pick up that RBI of Solano on second base. And those were the only 2 runs to speak of for this entire game.
And that was the key. That first inning, that was all the offense we saw. And from there, Tyler Norris, he did a great job in his start. You look at his stat line in 6 innings pitched, 4 hits, 2 runs, only 1 of them were earned, 1 walk to 2 strikeouts, and he did that all on 70 pitches. He averaged just barely over 10 pitches an inning. And then Cody Carlson, what can you say about him? 11 strikeouts to 1 walk in 7 innings and a 3-hit shutout.
It's absolutely amazing. Both these guys just pitching their hearts out, and that's a tough loss for Norris. We were talking off air with Ben Conant here for Sports Ticket, and he was like, that's a tough loss to swallow, and he's exactly right. That is a tough loss to swallow for Norris. You come out, you pitch so well, you don't get any offensive help, but you can't discredit that young man for Premier West. He had a very good game, and this is awesome. Last weekend, everyone knows I got heated on one of those games because questioned some of the toughness and the tenacity of one team. But both of these teams battling from the very first pitch to the very last pitch, no matter what. This was a heck of a baseball game, and at least in my eyes, one of the more entertaining ones that we've seen this season. I like offense. Everyone knows I like offense, but when you see this pitching matchup, you just got to sit back in awe and really appreciate what's going on in front of you.
All right, Teddy, I'm pretty sure it's obvious for everybody back at home, but formality is formality. Who is your MVP of this game tonight?
Oh, I really wanted to just say somebody else's name for the heck of it, but I couldn't even bring myself to joke like that. Cody Carlson, of course, is the MVP of this game. He was out there from the first pitch to the last complete game, 3-hit shutout, 11 strikeouts, season high. And season high for the team high even as well. So, and now he's eclipsed double-digit strikeouts twice this season. No one's done it yet once. So, he's just on another level right now, and he's pitching so well that it took him 110 pitches, and he was efficient, effective, and definitely did his job and gave the Hardhats just left that win in the palm of their hands.
I'm going to really pump the tires of pitching here for my stat of the day. When you go back to the last 3 games, that's when we were talking with Coach Messer in our pregame interviews, and he said pitchers need to throw strikes. They have to be dominant on the mound, throw strikes, and good things will happen. In the last 3 games, so that is a start from Kyle McGuire, a relief appearance by Holden Jackson, a start from Brandon Susi, and then this complete game start from Cody Carlson, 31 strikeouts to 13 walks for the Hardhats pitchers in that span in the last 3 games. And if you go back to the last 5 to last weekend, because that was a very busy weekend of baseball, 45 strikeouts to 27 walks. But again, the last 3 games, Hardhat pitching buying into that mantra of we need to use the strike zone. It's there for a reason. We'd be idiots not to use it.
Yeah, and up to this point, it hasn't really come back to bite him. Of course, that offense could always come up and bail their pitchers out. But these last few games, you start to see the quality of opponents getting higher and higher. And, of course, I believe Premier West, the best team that these Hard Hats have faced this season. And I believe most would agree with me in that fact. But if you don't throw strikes against a team like this, you're not going to win. You may get away with it against a Mitchell or Spearfish, but when you get those upper level, that upper tier of teams, and in that whole new level of competition, you have to throw strikes in order to win. And everyone's buying into that. They're starting to realize that. These pitchers starting to figure out their arm, their delivery, and really starting to get that strike zone figured out, which is nice, and that's huge for this Hard Hat pitching staff.
Not necessarily the stat of the day, but an observation kind of setting the table for tomorrow's rematch. We have a doubleheader starting at 5 o'clock tomorrow here at Teddy. Is that the big number on the scoreboard was the 4 errors for Premier West, the 2 of which came in the first inning, both of them to the third base position, or rather, excuse me, 1 of them to the third base position, but 2 out of the 4 overall to third base. You saw they made a defensive substitution at third. They took Nate Kajowski off a third, and then they put Barrick McCann in, and it seemed things calmed down in the hot corner there, but is limiting the errors just as simple as a defensive substitution, or do you feel Premier West will do more heading into the rematch tomorrow to clean up some of the blemishes in the field?
Well, yeah, there was also an error charge to Norris on the mound on an overthrow at first, which was tough, and that allowed a run to be scored. But it is almost as simple as that. Kajowski, the only 2 balls that he actually got hit to him were bobbled and errors, so defensive substitution will help with that. I guarantee we'll see McCann at the hot corner tomorrow for both games. We might see Kajowski coming in on Sunday, but I think McCann's going to be there because they realize those errors could have been, big difference, at least within one of those runs. It could have been a 1-run game, and that changed the whole momentum and the whole complexity. So it is almost as simple as that. You can't think too much into it because a lot of the times if these players have a bad game, players are going to play and coaches are going to coach. And if you have one bad game, you can turn around and come back and have a great game the next day. So I think we're going to see Barrick McCann at third again tomorrow, and I think we'll see that third base is a little more tightened up a little more at third, and the fundamentals are back, and McCann won't give you those errors and allows a run to come across with that. So it's nothing much. Premier West played a very good game. You can't, not discrediting them at all. Post 22 just played a little bit better, and Cody Carlson had a little bit extra on the mound to get that win. So just a few minor tweaks I think we'll see tomorrow, but nothing major. They're going to let these two teams just battle it out, best lineup on best lineup for the rest of the weekend.
And you feel that there's going to be more offense tomorrow because both Norris and Carlson will not be on the mound for their respective clubs, but still pitching will be paramount for both teams. But you think offense is going to shine tomorrow, no?
I really do. I think we know how many arms Post 22 has coming in. You can march out a new pitcher every day. We've seen Colton Sherbinsky, who I believe is at least going to get one of the games tomorrow. He's gone the complete game, and he's done so well this season pitching. But, he doesn't have that 88, 89 mile-an-hour fastball that Cody Carlson has. It's, low 80s, but these hitters are more used to that. And so I think we'll see a little more offense. Maybe not a whole lot. If Sherbinsky's on his game, he's hard. He's just as hard to hit. So we'll see who Premier West marches out. But I think both these offenses are going to heat up and get a little hotter going into the bread and butter part of this weekend.
Final stat line one more time across the board for you. For Premier West from Denver, it was no runs on 3 hits with 4 errors in the field, 5 men left on base, 3 of which were in scoring position. For the Post 22 Hardhats, their 14th win in a row comes with 2 runs on 4 hits, 1 error in the field, also 5 runners left on base, also 3 men left in scoring position. 1 game down, 3 more to go on this weekend. The Hardhats will rematch Premier West in a doubleheader tomorrow starting at 5 o'clock. We will be on ESPN Radio Rapid City for the remainder of the weekend, so we hope that you will all join us both on ESPN Rapid City at 1340 AM, 105.7 FM for the remainder of the weekend, and as always here on the official web stream of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball on post22live.com. Teddy, as always, thank you so much for everything that you do in the broadcast booth, as well to Ben Connor to the Sports Ticket for keeping post22.com, post22live.com, alive and running for tonight's game until tomorrow when the Hardhats rematch the Premier West Cardinals. This is Mark Benetti, the voice of the Post 22 Hardhats, saying so long and good night.